jail for obstruction of justice.
I didn't obstruct any
and trying to hide evidence.
I didn't.
Right here.
I didn't.
You don't want to see? You don't want to watch this video?
Yeah, I would love to. Because I was fixing my coochie lips.
Okay, there's a bag. So there's a bag right there being shoved into your pants.
That's not my bag. That's not a bag. That's my fucking coochie lips hanging out, dude.
For advertising opportunities for the following show, email us at cornerpubsports@gmail.com.
Welcome to the best pubcast around, Corner Pub Sports, bringing you sports, beer, and beyond. Catch the show live every Friday night at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Or get the show wherever you download your favorite podcasts. It's time to grab a cold one, kick your feet up, and enjoy the show. Welcome to the pub.
Hey, this is Jason Martinez from 97.5 The Fanatic and the Stick to Hockey podcast. And you're listening to the drunkest, craziest motherfuckers this side of the Mississippi. Corner Pub Sports on Wildfire Radio.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Here we are.
It was my coochie lips.
It was my coochie lips.
Look closer, you'll see my fallopian tubes.
You check to see if I'm pregnant, man.
We got a new and improved Gary. Gary's actually got a headset. We can actually hear him now.
How about
what's
that?
up, everybody? Corner Puff Sports here. It's Sean, Gary, Ryan, and Mike. And we have a TK Goldsmith of the I Need a Mulligan podcast. He's going to call in a little bit later, about an hour from now, and he's going to talk some football. We will get to the Super Bowl. We're going to preview the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about the Eagles' offensive, defensive coordinators because we did a show last week, but we didn't do sports. We did a special show last week. So we'll do that. We got Corner Pub Popcorn, While You Were Drunk, SSCS. We're going to talk Phillies, Flyers. And we talk Sixers. But before we do any of that, the question we ask. Beer is good. Beer is good. Beer is good. What are you drinking?
Flying fish, go birds.
There you go. What do you got, Mike?
I got the Warwick Farms High Heat Double IPA. Love the can.
Yeah. I love it.
I'm gonna stop showing mine. I'm nothing special. You don't know what the fuck I drink.
Bacardi.
You ain't been nothing special since
Go
1989.
fuck yourself. I got my own fucking headphones though.
Rusty
I
Round.
got headphones now. The ratings are going to go through the roof, yo.
Yeah.
You just need to learn how to wear them. It looks like they're like upside down and twisted backwards. And
They probably are.
Yeah, you ever see that commercial? Me talking about me. Talking about me.
I got Rusty Round Brew and it's Fog Monsters, a New England style IPA. Pretty good.
Nice.
6.9%.
yeah, I gotta get over and get some highly inappropriate sometime soon. It's been a long time since I had some.
Yeah,
highly inappropriate.
So that's over at Naked Brewing, and check them out, nakedbrewing.com. But they changed their formula up on that. They keep changing the flavor. They come out with a different variation of it.
Yeah,
It's like highly inappropriate with like passion fruit, or then like the next time it'll be like citrusy. Next time, they kind of change it up. So,
Dude, they had this stuff one time, and me and Gary loved it, and it was they messed up the brew, and this is what they needed. It was called Tom Petty Pistachio.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yo, that shit was banging, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say hi to Dave Peterson. We haven't seen him in a couple weeks. Dave,
How's it going, Dave?
yeah, we're sorry. We're sorry for your loss, man. We heard the news, so very sorry to hear that. And we're thank you for joining us again tonight, man. So John Powers is on.
Yo.
Yeah. What's up? See Mark in the text thread. So for those who don't know, if you're downloading the show, you can always listen live on Friday nights, and you can just look us up on Corner Puff Sports on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff, and you can join Satchel, all those.
Oh yeah.
But you can join on the live chat. So if you ever hear us, going off about somebody saying something, that's what we're talking about. Someone in the live chat. So anyway, let's get to it, guys. Sixers. We got some things to clean up before we get to the football stuff. So we'll start with the Sixers. They lost last night. Not a good game at all. Not a good game.
No, and we were talking about it last night in the thread. to me, that's an unacceptable loss last night. Granted, you're on a back-to-back, but the Blazers were down their 3 top guys, and McCollum, Lillard, and how do you usage? However you
Close
say
enough.
your fucking name.
Yes.
There is no
English, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
Well, the thing is that he doesn't speak English.
Yeah, they were home. Granted, again, it's a back-to-back, but there was no excuse to lose that game. I don't care. Ben Simmons didn't play. Joel Embiid balled out like he's been doing, and nobody else did anything. So, I don't want to harp on it. It's one game, but that loss was unacceptable, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm gonna counter argue that, and Ryan knows that I was gonna counter argue. I think it's totally acceptable to lose that game. You don't want to ever lose a game. It's never. I wouldn't say it's ever acceptable to lose a game, but if there was ever a game that you were going to lose, I get all the things you brought up are valid points. I mean, they didn't have their top 3. We didn't have our second best. I get that, but you're coming back after a 3-0 road trip, so you're traveling all over the city on a shortened season. You play in Charlotte, and then you got to fly home the next day, and you got to play a game, and you're down your guy. You just don't have your legs, and then you got a huge game coming up 2 days from then, and you're looking ahead a little bit.
Anything, like I get that, Mike. If anything was a trap game, last night was a trap game.
Yeah, especially when they didn't have it, you thought that you might be able to play, and I just think that they didn't have their legs. They just physically and mentally couldn't get into it, weren't into it, and couldn't get into it, and just it was just there's going to be games that you just fuck up and lose badly and get blown out because it's just not your night.
Yeah,
I think it was just a combination of a bunch of different things that happened last night, and I'm just like, fuck it. You're still in first place by 2 games.
That's a Brett Brown loss. That's what that's a Brett Brown game where you lose that game. Under Doc Rivers, I would expect them to be at least mentally up to the challenge, physically up to the challenge. Especially when you find out they're missing their top 3 players.
Yeah, they got blown out against a bunch of scrubs.
Right. That's.
But look at the overall record. Sometimes you get a mulligan.
Yeah, there you go.
I see what he did there.
Yeah.
You're promoting TK Goldsmith coming on a little bit later. Like I said, I Need a Mulligan podcast. Check them out.
Which is that's interesting. That might be the name of our show. The Sixers Need a Mulligan.
There you go.
Yeah, and I don't want to harp on it. Like you said, it's one game. It's just the fact that you got blown out by a bunch of scrubs.
Yeah, I mean the stars line for you to be able to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Yeah, Mark said it's a brown stain loss. But anyway, if they win tomorrow night, doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah, tomorrow night against the Nets, taking on the team, the big 3 of the Nets. Since they've acquired James Harden, they have the best offensive rating in basketball.
But their defense blows.
And the worst defense.
Have the worst defensive rating in basketball.
They just don't want to play defense. They just want to score, I guess. That's
you got to
bad stats.
You got to pounce on them quick and often.
You know what? I think that, dare I say, I mean, I don't know how where Embiid can play, but the Sixers, with the defensive team that they have, kind of can throw some guys at them to match up.
They match up good.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. But then again, the last time we played the Nets, Kyrie wasn't playing, and they didn't have Harden yet. But and Durant
didn't play either.
They didn't play, and they beat us. So we didn't match up against them the last time we played them.
Yeah, but I think that was kind of like one of those back-to-back and one of those kind of...
And we were still in the COVID thing when we played them.
Or we were just about to...
Yeah, I think, Okay. We might have had some of the guys back. I don't know if Seth Curry was back or not, but I guess he wasn't. He might have been one of the few that wasn't back, but I think Simmons was playing. I think Embiid played in that game.
I don't think Harris did.
No, Harris was out. Yeah, you're right. But you still had Embiid. I don't know. But that's true. I mean, look, you're right. Now the Eagles, Jesus, it wasn't on my mind. The Sixers are at full strength, so maybe they'll match up tomorrow. That's gonna be a good game. That better be a good game.
Well, it should be, and you know what? It's another measure stick game. The first one they won. The first one against the Lakers they won, and that was a big game. And they hung with them, and they ended up winning and showed that they could play with them. I feel that they could play with the Nets too.
I like the matchup. I think the Sixers match up well. You put just from a defensive standpoint, you're gonna have Simmons probably on Curry. I mean on that Irving.
Yeah.
You put Harris on Harden. Harden will get his. One or two of these guys are going to get theirs. Like
you know what? And you maybe it's a game where you consider starting Thibault. Throw Thibault at somebody like that.
I understand that thought, but you got to score with them. You got to score with them.
Yeah, you have to. They're going to get theirs. They're
going to get 130 points.
Yeah, they're going to get there. So you have to be able to trade punches with them. I see what Mike's saying. Like if you have some kind of defense out there that could get a couple stops and gives you that advantage.
But maybe with Thibault, and maybe that's when you're feeding Embiid because they don't have anybody. They don't even have a center.
No, they don't, and they also don't have a bench. Nope. That was one of the things we talked about when they made that trade. That was one of the things that they got hurt with. They hurt their depth.
They traded it all.
Yeah,
they traded all their depth. And
if you can,
and 20,000 first round picks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean the Sixers have good depth, and if you guys can, if they can get scoring off the bench and they can keep that going, keep that train going, they have a shot.
The interesting thing about the Sixers is that they seem like they're getting better. Like they haven't kind of hit their peak. You got guys like Thibault.
That's a good point, Mike.
Curry is now kind of not back to where he was.
Danny Green
Danny Green a little bit. Korkmaz is coming into his own. So you got guys that kind of either aren't at their potential or are kind of like starting to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, Korkmaz is a decent bench player. For your third guy off the bench, he's a decent bench player. I like Howard backing up Embiid. There's still no one that can defend Howard for the Nets.
Right.
I love Shake Milton as the backup point guard.
Shake's come back down to earth a little bit.
Yeah, he has, but the whole level out, he did the same thing last year. Like whole level out, he's going to be the guy to get you 16 off the bench. You know what I mean?
Right. What do you think of you still high on Maxey?
Yeah, I mean, he's hit the rookie wall.
Right.
Yeah.
But I still think that guy's going to be a player.
Okay.
You probably don't see him tomorrow night.
You hope you don't see him.
Yeah, because Thibault's probably got to be your.
I think he'd be the guy off the bench before.
Probably your second guy off the bench after or third after Shake and Dwight.
Well, yeah, because Korkmaz might start depending on what's going on with Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
yeah, and not only that, just for defense, like we were saying. I mean, you're thinking about Thibault even starting. Well, Thibault has to be your second or third guy off the bench then, at least.
Right. Thibault's got to play major minutes tomorrow night.
And you throw Thibault on one of the big three and don't even think about it.
Yeah, the thing I don't know about putting him on Durant. I don't know if he has that length.
I'd be worried about that one.
Yeah, but I'll take my chances with him on Harden or Irving.
Who do you throw? Do you throw Embiid on Durant?
I do.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Durant's
start
quick for him.
Right, but maybe start Howard and Embiid. Or if you don't start them, like have minutes where they're both in there. You put Embiid at the what's Durant, a small forward?
I guess. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Right, and then you put Howard at the 5. Or you go small, like at that point, put maybe Harris at the 5, or Simmons at the 5.
You put Simmons at the 5. I mean, I'd rather.
Yeah, but no, you need Simmons to defend. Yeah, it's good luck, Doc. Good luck offensively.
Yeah, so you can't put Simmons at the 5 because you need him to defend one of them wing players.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you're not worried about them offensively getting inside, except for Durant. Getting inside.
Durant's the scariest player on that team.
Yeah,
because he can light you up with fucking 14 shots.
That's what I'm thinking. You have to have Embiid on him.
Yeah, but the thing is Embiid can't chase him all day.
So if he beats you from the outside, he beats you from the outside, dude. Just
So you're saying give them, let them jack up threes all night and just kind of
one of them's going to get theirs. At least one of them's going to get theirs.
All right.
So if one of them puts up 50, 60 points, but you win the game because you control the other two, whatever.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's gonna be a fun game, but something happened over the last 2 weeks. Rumors started coming up that that JJ Redick might be on the block, and wanted to see how you guys felt about that because the Sixers are apparently one of the two suitors that are interested in acquiring JJ Redick.
I'm for it. Depending on what the price tag is, because you still got to pay the rest of his ridiculous contract.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on what the price tag is, like I'm not giving you a Shake or Maxi for him.
Right.
I'll eat the contract and give you a pick.
But the thing is that like we like Redick, but do you guys remember how much we bitched about Redick in the playoffs and how much of a liability he sees when
he was cold shooting?
He was starting. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Redick never had his true role here.
He was out there because he had to be out there because he was the starter in down the stretch in games where he was a defensive liability. Where if he's coming off the bench, he's the shooter off the bench.
That's all he is. You're not putting him in to play defense. You're putting him in there to shoot. So imagine when Danny Green takes a breather or Seth Curry takes a breather and you put fucking Redick in, who's familiar with playing with Embiid.
That's your backup. Is JJ Redick coming off the bench? You're not missing it.
Now, then you have Green, you have Curry, you have Korkmaz, and
it is kind of a shitload at that position. I hear you, Mike.
Yeah, and it's kind of a lot of the same type of players a little bit. Like I like Redick, and I know he's a good shooter. I just wonder if it's like you said, if it's just too much in the same position, and it's a little bit of a liability at points, and that it's not enough of other players that you're going to need in different types of series or whatever.
Well, maybe one of those guys
come back in the trade, like the Curry.
What if Korkmaz isn't here? But if you trade him, I don't know.
I'd much rather Korkmaz. Like I'd much rather Redick as a spot start. Like Curry might not play tomorrow night, so you're starting Korkmaz. I'd much rather Redick as that spot start than Korkmaz.
Mm-hmm.
But Korkmaz is starting to play a little bit of defense and starting to do a little bit more. Like I don't know. And
He is developing. That's a good point, Mike. He is developing a little bit. He is.
Yeah, I don't hate Korkmaz, man. He's been playing well this year. He gets a lot of grief, man. He gets a lot of flack, but
he's a decent player, man.
Yeah, he's turning into a decent player. He's had some big shots. I mean, the last few games he's been hitting some big shots. So,
I mean, he's a career average, like a 38% fucking 3-point shooter. I mean,
yeah.
Give him Isaiah Joe.
He's just got to lose his fucking yellow shoes. They drive me nuts. Fucking looks like.
I mean, what's realistic you can give up for him? Like, what would be realistic?
Well, since you're eating contract and they're willing to shed salary, I think there's not leverage, but there's not as much leverage there as you might think because it's a JJ Redick who's also aging, who's also got a contract.
Yeah.
I think
he's also shooting a career low this year.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I don't think you have to give up that much. I think maybe do you have
first
to give
rounder?
A few first rounder? Maybe. Yeah, I guess you do.
But then again, if a first rounder is going to be your 28th pick in the draft or whatever,
what the fuck?
Who gives a shit? Yeah.
Who cares?
So you do that. You do a first rounder and a second rounder or something next year,
or Isaiah Joe in a first rounder or somebody like that.
And you eat the contract. I think that's plenty to get it done.
Mm.
And that is one thing I do believe the Sixers have to make a move.
And Brett Brown's nameplate off the door. You can give him that too.
Yeah.
So, but do you think that Redick is the move to make? Is he the best move that you want to make? Is that like your big move?
I think that they're lacking shooting off the bench. I think,
and for price wise, the Sixers seem very unwilling to move on from like a guy like Maxey, and you're not trading Simmons for Redick, obviously. Now, Bradley Beal, if that becomes a realistic thing, which I don't think it does,
He's not
he
moving.
already said he doesn't want to move.
No.
Yeah.
But a guy like Bradley Beal is the only thing I'm giving up that major of a piece for.
Mhm.
So
And even Bradley Beal, I started looking like he's like 9 years into the league now too, isn't he? Like he's
only 27 years old though.
Yeah. Bunch of childs.
I guess he came out of high school.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Oh, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how serious these talks are, but when I saw that, my eyes lit up. I'm like, absolutely, that would be perfect for me, personally.
I agree. Like, as long as the price tag's right, I would love Redick coming off the bench here.
And familiarity and just not to.
And he's played with Doc Rivers too. It's not just that he's
Right.
played with Sixers and Embiid. He's played with Doc Rivers and did well with Doc Rivers.
And the people who haven't played with Embiid, it's hard. Like, it's a big adjustment. Like, a big man that can do the things he can do, that kind of like Ben Simmons is the facilitator, but it goes through Embiid. You know what I mean? So like, but that's an adjustment for that. And Redick's familiar with it. He's done it. He knows how to navigate it. As long as the price tag's right, I'm all for Redick coming back.
Yeah, it's not like he wouldn't be going in blind, you know.
Right.
Oh, speaking of blind, did you guys ever have sex with a deaf girl before? It's like beating a baby seal.
My walls are wet.
Oh man. Flyer. Are you guys good with the Sixers?
How you confuse Helen Keller?
I know this one. Go ahead, go.
You put her in a round room and tell her to find the corners.
It's pretty good. There's another
You know
one.
why her legs yellow, right?
Why is her legs yellow?
Because her cat.
Our dog's blind too.
What a fucking jitbag.
Oh, see, there's another one. There's one.
There's another how.
Yeah, that's not the right one. Yeah.
What was it? Like she puts the sign language when she's coming.
Yeah.
Something
that's the one I'm thinking of.
Some shit.
We're going to hell. We're going to fucking hell.
On the Pico Power Play.
Another team that's kind of pissing us off lately.
You know, I was going to segue.
Their record's really good, though.
I didn't want to.
They are.
I didn't want to segue to the Flyers that early, but we were talking about the Nets being the best offensive team and the worst defensive team.
Yeah.
That's the Flyers in the NHL in the third period.
Mm-hmm.
They're the worst third period team defensively and the best third period team offensively.
Which is crazy.
That's insane.
Which is crazy because last year they were the best third period team in the hockey. And they were the best team facing. We talked about Jordan Hall 2 weeks ago when we had Jordan Hall from Embassy on with us. Same situation, basically, like, you know, or same comments that they're giving up the most shots now, you know. And I don't know if they still are. That's been 2 weeks since we talked to him, but at that point 2 weeks ago, they were giving up the most shots per game defensively. And there's been a lot of rumbling about Matt Niskanen. They were trying to bring back Niskanen. And he said, "No, I'm too busy ice fishing. I'm good." He's like, "Nah, no thanks." So I don't know, man. It's I don't know what's wrong.
Their power play is number 11.
And that's
what's your point? Yeah, what's your point, bro?
It's not.
Yeah, but that's a middle of the pack thing.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit above middle of the pack, but
right?
Their problem is 5-on-5. That's their problem, and that's why guys like Konechny have gotten benched. Renee's trying everything he can. He benched Gustafsson the other night. You know, he's just trying to work. He's moving puzzle pieces around right now. He's just trying his best to see what he can do because it's.
Well, me and Gary were having a talk about it yesterday. Gary says to me, "So, you know, do they make a move?" I don't think yet. All in all, as bad as it's looked, they're still if they win tonight, they're in sole possession of the first spot in the Eastern Conference. So, all in all, yes, it's been like, oh, what the fuck's going on here? But they're still in good shape. So let's get Coots back, right?
Yeah, that'll be big.
He's hands down they're one of their best defensive players. So let's
he's better. He's a better defensive player than half of our defensemen.
But it's obvious that they're missing him.
Yeah, he's a better defensive player than Gossipair. Like it's crazy. He's a forward. But anyway, so let's get Coots back. Then see where they're at. I'm not making any kind of moves yet because I feel like it'll be a knee-jerk reaction. We are 10 games into this season.
You're 10 games into a season that you're in, like you said, you're about to be in first place.
Right.
You have the most points. You're tied for the most points in the entire NHL.
Right. Like I said, Sean, they win tonight. They're in sole possession of the first place in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, but at least, so I guess everybody kind of feels like it's fool's gold.
I don't think it's fool's gold. I think
because they're a good team.
Yeah. I think they've gotten lucky in situations, but they've also been unlucky in other situations. Like last night, you don't lose that game. Last night?
No, Wednesday night. It was Wednesday night.
Jesus, yeah. This week's we had a blizzard here in Philly, and it's been
it's been a long week.
It's been a crazy week.
Wednesday
Wednesday night.
8 inches coming tomorrow.
Yep. Or Sunday.
8 inches?
Sunday, yeah.
I heard it was like 1 to 3.
No, it looks like it's 8. Looks like it's going to be about 8. It's going to be quick. It's going to start early Sunday and just snow till like mid-afternoon and then move out.
Great. So we're going to be drunk and shoveling snow after the Super Bowl.
No, before the Super Bowl.
Well, hopefully it's
Sunday morning.
Well, hopefully it's over before the Super Bowl starts.
Yeah.
So you can get out there and shovel it.
So anyway, like the Flyers are still a good team. They've hit, like Sean was saying, they've hit a buzzsaw, like got unlucky, had some sloppy mistakes. But let's get Coots back. Let's see where they're at after 25 games. Then if things haven't changed, it may be time to seriously make a move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one thing, if you do want to make a move, I don't know how you can replace him because it sucks because you were really hoping that he was going to be a part of this team, but Morgan Frost is lost for the year. He was avoiding a hit. It didn't look like that. It didn't look that to be that much harm. But like he kind of like swung like his left side out of the way, and the guy came in and hit. I forget who went to hit him. He injured 2 players that night too, and Frost kind of like slow to get up, and all of a sudden, like it's been a week, and all of a sudden you're hearing, oh, yeah, he's got to get surgery and season.
That's a shame. Same thing happened to him last year, man. It seems like he might just be snake bitten, man.
Yeah. Is he one of those guys, just can't get his feet off the ground and get going. And I'm worried about Patrick too. I know it's going to take him a little bit of time to get going, but
doesn't look good.
But that's another conversation I was having with Gary. My feel on that is, I'm not looking for Patrick to do anything this year except get through the year healthy.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Maybe see some kind of potential towards the end of the year. But as long as he gets through the year healthy, I think it's a positive.
Yeah, I think by the end of this month, I think we'll know a lot more about this team. No preseason, right? So you're only, I don't think we're even a month into their season yet, right? Technically.
No. Okay. What is it, like 3 weeks maybe?
Something like that. Yeah, because he started the 13th of January. So, yeah, we're not even that a month in yet. So, this is basically the preseason time now. It's over. And now the season would start by now, right? So, and it's a tough schedule because you're doing back-to-backs.
It's home and homes.
Right.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, tonight was his 901st game for Claude Giroux. So
straight.
I mean, he's missed a game here and there, but he's been durable, man. He doesn't miss stretches. Like he doesn't miss long stretches.
No, he doesn't. Now
He gets a bad rap, dude, and like
you've been one that's given him the bad rap too.
Yes, and I'm on record. Like I've killed him. Giroux's a good player, man. The problem is, for years and years and years, they tried to make him the center point of the team. He's not that guy.
When he came up, and his first or second year, he looked like he was going to be that guy.
Yeah.
He looked like he was going to be an absolute star player. And that's unfair to say, because if you look at his statistics and look what he's done compared to the stars of the league, you know, the Ovechkins and the Crosbys and those guys, his numbers are right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, power play, I don't know if he still is number one, but
Not in
he's
the playoffs, Sean.
Except for rings.
not in the playoffs. Absolutely.
Not in the playoffs.
You're absolutely right. And but statistically, regular season wise, he's right there with everybody. And but this year, he's been disappointing me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's done nothing, man. He's done nothing.
I've seen him score one goal. I don't know if that's what he has right now, but I've seen him score one, and that was it.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, he would have had two, but then it was taken away from him. But still, like, and I know the C, it's just a letter on the stuff. But your captain, like he's not leading the team.
No.
In anything.
No.
In anything.
Yeah, I mean, if I would think if you're going to give the C to somebody, I mean, you're not going to take it away from Drew.
Right.
You'll never do that. But I guess if you were to give it to somebody, it'd be Couturier, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Coots is probably
Couturier, Kevin Hayes.
Yeah.
Provorov.
Maybe Provorov.
Provorov, yeah.
Provorov's probably the next captain.
Well, Provorov, they gave him the A this year. He's the assistant.
Yeah, he's probably the next captain.
But
yeah,
I'm
I'm very disappointed with Giroux so far this year, man. He may be at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, away from the family. You know, the family can't travel with him. You know, he's got a baby at home. You know, running around. You know, I don't know, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
You know,
but he also gets paid a lot to do this. So
sure, absolutely. But if fuck the people, man.
Huh?
Yeah. So, but one guy who hasn't disappointed, JVR.
Yes, sir. Wow. Yes, sir. He's at this point this season, he's having the best start to a season in his career since his rookie year.
Wow.
He's among the league leaders in points right now. In goals. He's having a good season so far.
He had
that's good because that's a bounce back.
Yeah. What's this, their 11th or 12th game? I know through their 10 games, he had 13 points in the first 10 games, and that was like I said, it was the best start since his rookie year.
That's awesome. That's good shit, man. Cool.
Who's the best player on this team right now?
Oh man,
it's got to be Hayes, right?
I'm going Provorov as the best player on this team.
Yeah.
He's still the most dependable.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting out of him every single night. I'm not even factoring like goaltending. I'm not factoring hard or anything.
No, you can't. No, that's different.
It's one position, so
right.
And Hart's been kind of up and down too, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been better as of late, but
Hart's also got snake bitten, like not maybe not snake bitten, but he'll be playing so well, and then their defense just completely breaks down in the third period, and it looks like he's giving up fucking 3 third period goals, but it's really like well, there's no help in front of him.
Yeah.
Now he's been the one thing that the Flyers have been really bad at this year is turnovers. The neutral zone turnovers. You're giving the opposition a very short ice to work with. Odd man rushes. Hayes actually gave up one on Wednesday night, and it led to a breakaway. And actually, Hart had a great save on it, and it was huge because it ended up helping them, you know, keep the game tied. I think at that point, or they were up on. I forget what the point was at that. You know, I forget what it was at that point, but either way, you know, he helped them out a lot, and on that play, obviously, but the turnovers in the neutral zone are just absolutely horrendous. Just they're getting crushed with them, and they're trying these like not side to side passes, you know, going the length of the ice, you know, it's going side to side, I should say, and they're just I don't know, careless. They're way too.
Yeah, and it's something that started in the bubble last year, man, and like it was like you didn't see that kind of shit from them. So they're almost
sharp and crisp going into that. and even the first 3 games.
Before they got into the Montreal series and then the Islander series. So it's almost like they were exposed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I mean, wasn't it the year before last? Wasn't that their big problem? That they gave up a ton of shots and you know.
And now and that was under a different coach and a different system and the whole shebang, and they're doing it again. I don't know. Like, it can't be one guy. It can't be Coots. He can't be the only guy who, missing. And that's why this is happening. So,
be right back, guys.
Yep.
But I mean, you can accept the astronomical amount of shots, but you know there's the turnovers in that neutral zone. I mean, it's bad.
Yep.
Like, there's no neutral zone presence, especially in the third fucking period.
Yeah, the third period, like Ryan was saying, the third periods have been just historically bad for them. The amount of shots they're giving up, the amount of rushes, everything. It's ugly.
I mean, there's a few new players. Maybe they're just not gelling yet. I mean, it's been 11, 12 games?
Right. It's been preseason.
Yeah. So. Right. So now, moving forward, it's time to see the new guys. Like Gustafson, he's a new guy. And don't get me wrong, I like him as a defensive player, but he gives up a lot of fucking turnovers.
And that's why he was benched the other night.
Yeah, he gave up a lot of fucking turnovers.
No.
Well, and don't get fancy with your passes. Just make the fucking passes that you're sure to make. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't have to go from one side of the ice to the other. Like, just make your solid pass. Dump it in. Go chase.
Yeah, I mean, I read the article when they got him, and he kind of was like an offensive defenseman type player, but he wasn't like his MO was that he had like a lot of turnovers. Kind of wasn't always the best defensive type player. Like, it wasn't this. The article seemed like it was like, all right, well, it's good that we have him and stuff, and it's good, but don't expect too much. Don't expect him to be like. Don't expect him to, replace Niskanen or, whatever.
But I tell you what, Mike, he looks really good on the power play.
Well, they said he's like a Ghost Spear type.
Absolutely.
Like a better version of Ghost Spear. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now the solid 5-on-5, he struggled.
Yeah. And that's kind of what the write-up was. That's he's playing to exactly.
Yeah, he struggled bad.
Who?
Gustafson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that Tarian Hatcher. Oh, goodness gracious.
What is it?
Play the motorboat? You motorboating son of a bitch, you old sailor, you. You old fat bitch!
You fat bitch!
Yeah, I tell you, man, that's fucking he's one of them actors that, like, I hate. Oh, yeah. But everything he's in, he makes me laugh.
Dude, he's the most pompous. He's such a dick, Vince Vaughn.
Sean Penn?
No,
Vince Vaughn.
Is that my daughter in there?
No, Vince Vaughn. Oh, man.
You fat bitch!
Yeah,
like, but I guess Vince Vaughn plays that, like, that's his role, and he plays it well. Like, he's like, it's like, he's like, yeah, that's.
He just strikes me as like a complete dick. Like, outside.
And Owen Wilson's the same way. I fucking hate him.
I can't stand that guy.
But everything he's in,
funny.
Makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Dude, and Meet the Parents. And he's like, well, I guess Christ got me in the carpentry. If you're going to follow in somebody's footsteps, who better than Christ? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one's made of rich mahogany.
It's not bad since I whittled it all out of one piece of wood.
It's
like a huge honor.
Yeah, but he's like the type of guy you want to put a cigarette out in his eye.
Yeah, and you want to fucking fix that nose.
Yes,
I don't know. Owen Wilson doesn't do that to me. I don't mind him too much. But.
I fucking hate him. But he makes me laugh.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll bet you they're like the funnest guys to hang out with too. Like we say, like,
so I could just see Vince Vaughn being a fucking dickhead. Like, I don't know why he just strikes me as a fucking complete. Like, He's the one I can tell. Like, Vince Vaughn.
Oh,
You can just tell
yeah,
he's
well,
one of those who gets drunk and like, oh, I'm too famous for you. Get the fuck away from me, like that type of thing. Where Owen Wilson, I could see being the very chill dude, and like you can go up and I don't know.
oh,
And Ross,
I could both suck a dick.
him and his fucking mullet.
Well, let's not start sucking each other's dicks quite yet.
Yeah, who gives a shit? Let's
Yeah.
move on to talk about
Who gives a shit? It's gone.
It stinks.
it does stink.
You get your dick and your pussy all covered in shit.
So, one thing that has done that we didn't get to talk about because we did the special show last week is that the Phillies re-signed JT Realmuto, and then 2 days later they re-signed Didi Gregorius.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they were team friendly, but they were fair. I think they were fair deals, and it's good after not expecting them to do anything because
the problem I see it, they're the same team they were last year.
Yeah, but you know what? The problem with the team last year wasn't their offense. The problem was their bullpen, and they're trying to fix their bullpen.
They made a few.
Honestly, it's going to be hard to be mad at the front office after this offseason. They re-signed JT. They re-signed a quality shortstop, and they addressed the pitching problem. If it works, that's a different story.
Right.
But
like,
at least
they did make additions and address some problems.
Like they got a legitimate closer at least now. The mid relief you still don't know.
But at the same time, like they couldn't get some of it had to be just like bad luck last year too. Like you can't get this unlucky again. Right?
Hold on a minute. I brought up the fact. I brought up the fact that the Phillies signed JT Realmuto, who no one thought was going to come back. And you guys immediately go to the negative shit of the Phillies and how they're the same fucking team as last year and how they have all these problems. Can we just fucking enjoy the fact for a second?
Sorry, Gary's fault. This is Gary's fault. I'm
Gary's the one that started it.
But am I Gary?
No, I hear you.
Am I wrong?
I hear you.
No, you are. Yes, you are wrong. You are wrong. Pitching's not going to be as bad.
So they traded Sixto. They traded Sixto, and they brought back the best catcher in baseball.
Mm-hmm. Dave Peters said they're bringing a lot of pitching. If they can shore up the bullpen, we can win. The bullpen.
No, they can't.
No, it's not. It's not going to be anything different.
No, they can't. They're not beating the Dodgers in the playoffs. They're not beating the Braves in the playoffs.
They sure can. Wait, they can win. Why? But they can't win?
No.
They can't win games?
No. They can win games, but they're not even going to make the playoffs.
He didn't say win at all. He said, why couldn't they, though?
I think they can make the playoffs.
No, I don't know.
You couldn't make the playoffs last year.
No, they're not. No way. Not with the Braves and the Nationals. The Mets are better. Nope.
I'm with you, bro.
There's not. I think they're still. I think they're going to look better, but they're going to be lucky to finish fourth.
I think offensively they can hang with anybody, right?
Well, what's been the problem for the past 10 fucking years? That bullpen.
Pitching in general.
Yeah, like I have to. Me personally, I have to see it literally happen. I've gotten excited about this team a couple times over the past 10 years, and they've done nothing.
This isn't something that's new within the past 3 years,
right? So, like,
they're going to the World Series. That's what you're talking about, the Dodgers and shit. I'm not talking about that. He said all Dave said here was if they can shore up the bullpen,
they're going to be a competitive team.
I
don't think there's anything wrong with that sentence. I think that's a very fair statement. I think they can beat a lot of games.
All right, I'm just taking it for what it said. He said they can win. Win means you win the division or something.
No, he's saying that they're a competitive baseball team, Ryan.
Okay. I do think
that's how I read it, yeah.
Okay, I do think that maybe I misunderstood it. Okay. I do think that they're better. I do think they will compete more. Like, they're not going to be historically bad. But I still don't think they finish better than third if they're lucky.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan. I mean, right now, what was it? 2010 was the last time they made a playoffs? 2011?
2010.
11.
11, right. So
that was a year harder to hurt.
Until they make the playoffs again, there's always going to be a little bit of a doubt in my mind. I'm not going to say that they're a playoff team or that I expect them to make the playoffs until I see it. Because every year for the past 5 years, there's been this situation where it's been like, this is going to be their year. You know, 2 years ago they got Bryce Harper, JT. All right, now we're ready to go, and it just didn't work out. Was it the manager? Now we got Girardi. Now we got this. We got Didi. We got So, yeah,
fuck.
I don't know why Denny said this. Do you have a problem with a person with one eye? Did we say something about someone with one eye? I don't think we did. Denny just fucking said it.
Well, I mean, did one of you guys talk about putting a cigarette out?
Yeah, you did. You
Yeah,
talking about
that's probably
putting a cigarette
it.
in Ellen Wilson's eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what he's talking about. That was funny.
Just keep keeping an eye out for us that they're done.
That's right. Make sure you dot the lowercase j's.
Yeah, cross our T's and dot the lowercase j's.
Oh man. Speaking of that, that's from Wayne's World 2.
Yes.
Wayne and Garth, Mike Myers and Dana Carvey are doing a commercial for Super Bowl.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a commercial. I want to see Wayne's World 3.
Yeah.
Got $5,000. Got $5,000.
The two of them haven't done anything.
No, he said that, and he keeps saying that he's got the script written for fucking Austin Powers 4, but life gets in the way with kids. Dude, you're like in your 50s. Do it already.
Yeah.
My name is Simon.
Yeah, the last and only role that I remember. The last and only role I remember.
He's like, the next time we bath together, could you pre-bath? You seem to lift the ring around the surface. My name is Simon, and I do drawings.
He's telling him you're taking a bath, but you're still fucking stink.
I tell you what, why don't we do?
What's your name? Fucking Pigpen.
Why don't we do popcorn now? Since we're talking about movies, you want to do that?
All right, give me a second.
All right. So while he's looking it up, look. All I'm saying is, I'm glad they signed JT. I'm glad he's back. He was expecting a $200 million deal. The Braves were circling. I'm thrilled we got JT Realmuto back.
Yeah, the Braves actually offered him more money, just not as many years.
Right. Yeah, they offered like 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
And,
let's talk about the pitching additions.
Yeah, so the one guy who Matt Moore.
JVR with another one. Sorry.
He scored?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I missed it. Oh, there it is. I see it now. The replay of it. Oh, that was a nice shot. Matt Moore pitched in Japan last year, but he's a veteran. The other guy, Anderson, they got, he's a veteran. So they're adding veteran arms. They're adding guys who've pitched in the league for a while, and they're adding guys who throw high heat. Yeah, a lot of guys who throw hard. And
you know what?
It seems like Dombrowski seems to like the new general manager of the Phillies seems to like these guys, like the guys that throw hard, because that's even drafting. The international guy I think they signed is another one who throws hard. Like they're signing a bunch of guys who just throw in like 95, 96 mile per hour range.
Oh, well, they got the left arm, the left-handed guy.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I like Matt Moore as a back in a rotation guy.
So you know what I like about what he's doing though. I like the fact that he's going after a lot of mid-level guys that are cheaper. He's taking a little bit more of a shotgun approach. We're not getting David Robertson and Hunter for blowing our load on these two guys and then having shit. We're throwing darts at 50. We got 50 darts that we're throwing at the board instead of
So 3 or 4 of them should help you.
Right, exactly.
Right.
But
Dombrowski play the law of average a little bit better.
Dombrowski is a what can we do now type guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so corner pub popcorn.
Yeah. So if we didn't do it last week, so if you're late to the party, we're looking at the last 50 years in the box office, hits, movies, and smashes. Is that what you said?
Smashes.
Oh, smashes.
Box office smashes, baby.
Smashes. This is
All right, so we're doing 1973 tonight.
1973. I hope before you start,
I was still shitting in my diaper.
That year, one of my favorite all-time movies came out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it on the list? All right.
Yes. Okay, so at number 10, a robot malfunction creates havoc and terror for unsuspecting vacationers at a futuristic adult-themed amusement park. It's called Westworld. That's the movie that show on HBO is based off of.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Number 9, James Bond movie, Live and Let Die.
Oh yeah.
That was I think that's the first one without Sean Connery. Number 8.
All of them are gonna have no Sean Connery in it now.
Number 8. I thought that the remake was awesome. I never seen the original. The Wicker Man. My eyes.
Damn, dude, what are you up on that? I could have.
Yeah, I should have. My bad.
Okay,
so remember, this movie came out in 73. Number 7. A police officer in the year 2022 uncovers the deadly secret behind a mysterious synthetic food. Charlton Heston starred in it. Soylent Green.
Oh yeah. Oh, here you go, Ryan.
Dude, that was so good. That was so fucking good. Okay, again, I seen the remake with Charlie Hunnam. Never seen the original, but the remake was really good. Papalion. That's about Papalion.
No, I never saw that.
That's about a guy that was put in a Vietnamese prison, wrongfully charged for murder.
Meow.
No, that's not the right one, Rashawn.
Meow. Meow.
And he just kept trying to escape, and he finally did, and then his story got told.
Meow.
He was looking for a fuck basket.
Okay, number 5, 2 grifters team up to pull off the ultimate con, The Sting, starring Robert Redford and Paul Newman.
Paul Newman, yeah. Good, great, one of the greatest movies, man.
Number 4, starring Alejandro, The Holy Mountain.
Yeah. I guess they could walk through it, right?
The Holy in a corrupt, greed-fueled world, a powerful alchemist leads a Masonic character and 7 materialistic figures to the Holy Mountain, where they hope to achieve enlightenment.
When the sun shines, does it go through the other side?
Yeah. Number 3, American Graffiti.
Wow.
See, that's one of those. That movie's weird. It's not what you expect, and I don't know. It's one of those that people go, oh, it's one of those coming of age movies, and I get it because it takes place in the summertime, back in the 50s, I think, right? It's based in the 50s.
Yeah,
that's a Ron Howard, right?
Well, Ron Howard started it. Actually, George Lucas directed it.
I don't know. It's a good movie. And Mark just said it's an awesome soundtrack in it. Yeah, it is. I just look at it now and I'm like, what was all the hype about with this one? But I didn't live during that time, so I don't know. Mark did. He was probably Mark was about 30 back in the 50s, so maybe he can tell us what it was like.
Yeah, that's cold, Mark. I'll take that. Kick his ass.
Number 2, The Exorcist.
Oh,
there you go.
Never done. You never seen that? Are you a hard?
I'm kidding.
Oh, that's a violation. Like,
no, I'm kidding.
And number 1, go ahead, Sean.
Is it what I think it is?
Spit it the fuck out.
Bruce Lee.
Yep.
Enter the Dragon was number 1. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so cool, man. Enter the Dragon, one of my all-time favorite movies, man.
Number 12.
John Saxon, Jim Kelly, Chuck. That's Return of the Dragon.
Oh, all right.
Enter the Dragon had Mr. Han, who had the hand with the claw.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that dude! One of the greatest end sequences of any movie ever made. John Wick, actually, I think the second one actually took the third one.
Oh yeah. Boban.
Yeah, with the
It's
mirror.
Abdul-Jabbar, right?
That whole thing with the mirror. No, that's Game of Death. No, he fought Mr. Han in the mirror room.
Mm-hmm.
One of the
That's
cool.
where he got scraped in the face, right? And he's got the
Yeah. And then he kicks him through the fucking staff that went through the wall, or through. What was number 12?
Number 12, Serpico.
Oh wow,
That's a great fucking movie.
And they remade that too, didn't they? I thought they remade it.
Did.
Yeah, they did.
They did, bro.
So who's in it? Who's in the remake?
It's not. Why do I think Danny Trio? It wasn't Danny Trio.
The Flyers have 18 third period goals. It's second most in the league.
Maybe they didn't redo it.
Yeah, I didn't think they redid that.
All right, you're right.
I feel like that's something I would have known because I love that.
You're
movie.
right. Nah, you're right. They didn't redo that. Maybe it's a show or something. I know they. I don't know.
Actually, Al Pacino in that movie, the way he looks is a spitting image of my dad in the 70s.
Yeah,
spitting image
with the beard and the hair going crazy.
Yep.
Leather jacket.
Yep.
Yeah. Bomber jacket.
Number 16, Mean Streets.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Yes, it is.
Harvey Keitel, De Niro.
Mm-hmm. Martin Scorsese actually directed it.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's one of his first movies, I think.
Yep.
Pesci, I think Pesci's in that too. I think Pesci's in that. Someone else big. No, he's not. Someone else big is in that movie.
It's Harvey Keitel and Robert De Niro. They're the two big stars.
Harvey Keitel's a fucking. Actually, De Niro, I think. De Niro is a nut job in that movie.
Yeah.
Keitel's trying to calm him down and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Number 18, James Coburn's in it. Chris Christopherson, Pat Garrett, and Billy the Kid.
Ah, okay.
Chris Christopherson.
I didn't know this was a remake. I seen the remake, the one with the Rock, Walking Tall.
Oh yeah. I've seen that one. Yeah, I seen it's the Rock one.
It's the same premise, but they didn't get an ex-wrestler to fucking play in that.
Yeah. Here we go. Dirty Harry movie number 26, Magnum Force.
Ah, cool. Polsky said dragon in your ass.
Number 32, Jesus Christ Superstar.
Oh.
Which was also a Broadway play.
And it's also a new one coming to the ice rinks. Jesus Christ Superstar on ice.
Star Philip Seymour Hoffman. Number 44, Godzilla versus Megalodon.
What number was this?
Number 44.
Jesus, how many?
Higher.
Yeah, I only get like 20 on my list.
Yeah, like what fucking?
I think I had that one. I think I had that one on like VHS, like Godzilla versus Megalodon.
That's about it.
Okay.
That is one of the cheesiest fucking monster movies you'll ever see.
Hey, how about Kong versus Godzilla coming out next month? Yeah, next month.
Yeah. Giddy up.
I hope it's good, man. Hope it's good.
I think Godzilla fucks King Kong up.
I prefer. I gotta be honest. I prefer Godzilla. I'm with you. Yeah.
Did you hear the the premise of it? Apparently, you know how there's always a female that King Kong.
Yeah.
Right.
Captures his heart.
Yeah, he's always got a fucking Woody.
Yeah, well, something happens with Godzilla to make him attack the human race.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's this little girl that has captured King Kong's heart, and she's able to release him to go against Godzilla.
So King Kong's going to win it then.
Yeah. And then apparently my son was actually telling me this. I don't know if you've seen the preview where King Kong's got like that sword thing. What that is.
And he takes the breath, the Godzilla's fire breath thing.
Well, that's actually Godzilla's spikes. Like somehow they get it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somehow Kong gets it off and he's able to use it as a weapon.
Oh, wonderful.
Godzilla's gonna whip that ass.
Well, they show in the preview, and he's coming down on him. I'm like, he came down on him like whap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, what? So Godzilla's just keep showing King Kong just whooping it, giving him an uppercut and shit. So, well,
Godzilla whips that ass.
Man, I hope so. Polsky said, light that monkey up. And then Dave said, Kong, I love Fay Ray. Fay Ray was in the original King Kong, 1933.
You talk about edible.
You dig that up. dig that right up. All right, so let me bring him on. We got our special guest on the coming on the stream here. Welcome, TK Goldsmith, to the show. Look at that setup. What's up, brother?
What's going on?
Showing us up.
I don't know about that.
Looks like you're being questioned by the cops, man. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Well, it's not the first time.
Yeah, I think we all been there.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on the show, fellas. Really appreciate it,
dude. Absolutely. Yeah, we hope you have a good time with us tonight. So TK is the host of I Need a Mulligan. He's been doing it for a little while now. You can find it out there, and we'll after the show is posted and everything.
Who don't need a fucking mulligan?
True. I get that all the time. I mean, 2020 is probably the biggest one yet.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Right.
Yeah, for
2021 is not shaping up much better right now.
No. Yeah. So I'm on. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say we got another comment. Kong is gonna kick his ass. So we were talking about Godzilla versus Kong right before you came out. We were doing our Corner Pub Popcorn segment where we kind of go through the movie.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. So yeah, we were doing 1973. Fucking what was it? Number 44 that year is Godzilla versus Megalodon. Oh, is that what it was? Yeah. But I'm sorry. So new first time on our show, and I think I'd like to hear why you started doing a podcast. And first of all, it's a great name for a show too, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah. I went to school to be a coach and a teacher, and life happened, so decided to move on and kind of do some other things, and wanted to kind of get back into that realm, but I wasn't quite sure exactly how to do it, and just kind of came across the podcast thing and decided to go that route. And I came up with I Need a Mulligan because I don't know, I was just kind of brainstorming one day and kind of came up with it and thought it'd be kind of a cool name for a show, and I can kind of implement a lot of like goofy things that I already do. Like I mess up, I'm like, oh shit, I need a mulligan, rewind that shit, bloop, and then rewind it and do it over. And not being a radio guy or a podcast guy, it just kind of seemed to fit. So just went that route. NBA, NFL are some of the things I like to talk about. Obviously with I Need a Mulligan, you're going to talk a little golf, but I only do that usually when it's a Masters or one of the majors. But it's one of those things where I mostly talk football and basketball, but we get a little bit of golf in there as well.
Cool. So, I mean, is this what you do full time? I mean, you have a day job, or?
Yeah, I do have a day job. Right now I'm doing shipped orders, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Just to, pay the bills, do a few. Yeah. So that's what I do during the day.
No, and again, we thank. I'm sorry, I'm looking at this. So I don't know if you saw my thing. Was all Kong will do is throw turds, and then we got this throw turds. Is that after
this is a husband and wife going back and forth here?
Oh yeah, right.
They're in the same house, Yeah.
Well, that's what monkeys do. They throw shit.
There you go.
So, the most important question. The most important question I'll ask you, TK, of the night, most likely. Okay. I mean, sports are one thing, and what you do and for a living, and how long you've been doing the show, and all that's all great. What are you drinking, brother?
Oh well, hey, good point. Because first off, I want to say, hey, great job last week. The Down the Way Dave podcast was absolutely amazing. I mean, we all go through losses, and we all deal with a whole bunch of shit, and just what you guys did last week was absolutely fantastic. So just want to give you a huge kudos for that. Thanks, but down the way, Dave, I heard he likes squirrel
there you
piss.
go.
So I had to bring the Coors Light on the show.
Dude, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Well done,
And,
dude.
We appreciate that. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. That was a heartfelt show last week, and it seems like it went over very well.
No,
Thank
it
you.
was fantastic. I don't know Dave, but I sure shit felt like I did after the show. It was awesome. So,
Yeah, I had a coworker text me, and she said that she's like, "Yeah, I didn't know Dave, but after listening to the show, he seems like a guy that I want to sit down and have a beer with."
yeah, exactly. And me and Dave have a couple things in common. One is I too have glaucoma. So, so we have that in common. Yeah.
Dude, if that wasn't one of the funniest freaking
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah.
It's so Dave though. Like it's such a Dave story, man.
I glaucoma guy. Yeah, that was
By the way, that's my glaucoma guy.
So before we get into football, let's do our while you were drunk segment, and TK, there's nothing here that you're not going to know anything about. This is just thing. We kind of do a quick, brief summary of things that happened in the week of sports, or 2 weeks of sports, since we really did a sports show the last 2 weeks.
Just blew it again.
Did they? Oh, that's great, awesome. We'll comment on each story and we move on to the next, and then we'll get into the football. So actually,
okay,
2 of these are actually football related. So while you were drunk,
I am not drunk, man. You're trying to make me drunk.
It's time to catch up on some things you may have missed.
Do you think a six-pack is acceptable?
While you were drunk.
I'm drunk and I love cats. What more do you need to know?
So while we were away, Matt Stafford got traded to the Rams. The Lions pulled a deal. Jared Goff goes to Detroit. Matt Stafford goes to the Rams. The Rams also traded multiple first-round picks. I'm going to say this, and then you guys can comment and say what you think. I think for the Rams, their window is this far open.
For a 35-year-old quarterback?
He's 32.
Yeah.
He's 32.
Oh.
And this gives Stafford the best chance to win, and this gives the Rams the best chance to win while their high-priced players are on the team. And
I don't think it makes a damn bit of difference.
I completely agree with you, Sean. I think the Rams are significantly better with Stafford.
I just don't think it makes a damn bit of difference.
I think they're better, but man, I'll tell you what. I think that the GM for Detroit should be thrown in jail for theft. I think that.
Why? He traded Stafford and got 2 first-round picks for him.
What happens at the
No, I'm saying that he got the better end of the deal.
Okay, I got you, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that like 2 first-round picks and a younger
get the fuck out of here.
Oh,
get the fuck out of here.
He's delayed.
I just got here.
Oh no.
Well, Boston scored?
Yeah, they're up 2-1.
Oh, fuck. All right.
All right, well, yeah, we're delayed.
Boston, TK.
Oh, no worries. I get it. I yell at the TV when I'm watching my Packers play. I get it.
Yeah, that's right. You're Green Bay, so
I am. Yeah, unfortunately.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
We'll get into Rodgers a little bit later too. For you.
Yeah, I mean Matthew Stafford moving on to LA. I'm as a Packers fan, I'm not really all that concerned with it. I mean, you bring in Jared Goff, who he's more of a game manager. So I mean, there's no real threat to the Packers or the NFC North, I don't think, at this point with Jared Goff coming in. I think, like you mentioned, the GM did a great job. He's got a ton of picks that he's going to be able to work with. And, the Rams, it's just seemed like a stretch. Like you're really just going to bring in Stafford, who, yeah, I mean, he throws up a ton of numbers, but at the end of the day, you got to look at wins and losses and how he conducts himself on a regular basis. And I didn't see it.
You don't say it right. Like the Detroit's no better with Goff. The Rams ain't no better with Stafford.
I think the Rams are a little bit better with Stafford, but he's 32 years old, and you gave up a shit ton for him. And this was going to be seven straight years, is it, that the Rams aren't going to have a first-round pick? Like,
That's
what?
true. Jalen Ramsey trade. There was a trade before that.
Brandon Cooks?
Brandon Cooks trade, yeah.
The 1 year they have, the 1 year that they actually had a first-round pick, they traded back into the second round.
Oh, boy. I forgot. TK, this is a good friend of mine here, Denny.
Yeah.
Denny Boyer. I love your guest, and he's saying that because he's a Packers fan.
Yeah, that'll boy. We're friends
that's
already.
The end of the show, guys. We're going to see you guys next week. Thank you guys.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. All
So
right,
you're from Wisconsin?
No, I'm from Nebraska.
Nebraska, okay.
Yeah, so huge
Huskers?
Husker fan.
Yeah.
Huge Husker fan. But we didn't have professional teams growing up, so I just went.
You get a pass.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. Well, there's so many different Chiefs fans and Broncos fans and just all sorts of different types of fans that you see in Nebraska.
Like, in proximity, like what's probably the closest football
Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah, Kansas City. That's 3 hours away from my hometown, and then Broncos are about 6 hours.
Okay.
We got a ton of Cowboys fans too, which
everybody has a ton of Cowboys fans.
Whenever the lights are
cockroaches.
Whenever the lights turn on, they scatter away.
Yeah, that just means there's chip bags all across the United States.
Yeah, they're all over.
Yeah.
What a fucking chip bag.
Yep. So TK, one of our loyal listeners is asking if you fish. Do you fish?
Oh yeah, huge.
Okay.
Huge.
He said he loves your hat, and I guess that's yeah.
Yeah, well, I live in Minnesota now, so I mean, if you don't fish here, you're an outsider. They look at you funny if you don't say you fish. So
what do you go for?
Take it easy, Mark. Take it easy. Don't get excited, man.
I know. he's gonna. Oh yeah.
So TK, you're a Packers fan living in Minnesota. That's got to be interesting.
I thought that when we first moved, we moved here about 2 years ago, and I thought, oh shit, I'm going to fucking Minnesota. All these Vikings fans, like, what am I going to do? But Minnesota's right on the border of Wisconsin, so I was actually surprised. There's a shit ton of Packers fans. I mean, okay. I go to the grocery store, and you see just as many people wearing Packers jerseys and hats as you do Vikings fans. It's kind of crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Mark's comment like 1,000 different, like he's
Smallmouth Central, 1,000 lakes.
Small. Where's my camera? Yes, Smallmouth Central. I go to the Mississippi River and hit the smallmouth all the time. I love it.
Mark, you want his phone number? I mean, like, what the
yeah. Yeah. Come on down anytime.
Yeah.
Mark's going to fit
really?
Coors Light.
Yeah, come on down, Mark.
He wants to be on the streaming now.
Yeah, come on down, Mark. Fucking bring that little banjo. You can play the Deliverance theme.
Yeah, Mark, this ain't Christian fucking mingle.
Oh shit! Mark just filed for divorce. Is TK married? Yes, he is.
I am.
That's
yeah,
his wife just asked that.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. NCAA. EA Sports has announced that NCAA football, college football, is back. Yeah.
Nice.
I got to be honest. I want them to bring back basketball. I want NCAA basketball back, to be honest with you. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I still play NCAA 10 basketball. I still play it. I got a PS3. Right now I'm Indiana in season 7, I think. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love those games. I can't get enough. So the fact that they're going to bring them back is amazing.
I want to play it and be a team that Bobby Knight coaches and beat up a player.
Just be the coach in the background.
Yeah, just have
the option. Yeah, just have the option to click on it, like hit triangle, like motherfucker.
Yeah, just
I'm gonna start a career and just skip college and go right to the pros. That'd be cool though, man. Like I think this is a step in the right direction because for everyone who's been clamoring for these games to come back, maybe they're on their way to bring back college basketball too. But yeah, you're excited about the football. I don't think I've ever played. I think back in PlayStation 1 days is the last time I played a college football game. And it is different than Madden. There is a difference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with the recruiting and everything, I felt like the last two that they had, the recruiting was a little wonky and kind of funky, and it was kind of hard to maneuver through. So I like just doing the Heisman deal, where you make your own player and you do the high school thing for 1 year, and then you have all these teams recruiting you, and you pick whichever team you want. I thought that aspect of it was cool because you could do it for 4 years and fucking move on. You didn't have to worry about all the other bullshit. You just play the game basically.
Dude, I would if I made it like that, I'd make it like it would look like Paperboy, where every house you come up to, someone's offering you drugs. You say no. You keep walking like no. Like, will you sign this TV deal? No, because you can't. Because you get some.
Just do the Tennessee. Just do the Tennessee and put them in McDonald's bags, man.
No,
McDonald's can be a sponsor. And
can you be a booster?
Yeah,
You're like games a booster.
If you're like Reggie Bush, like you just automatically like get suspended. It's like,
violation.
Yeah, like you said, it's like
your Heisman.
Paperboy, where you're at the house, and instead you have to look around and you have to like spot out whether or not like there's a cop around or anybody that you think's going to actually be able to say anything to you, and then you take it. And then, you wait like 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden, you find out that somebody saw you. It's like your fire's like,
you be a player and go through his sexual assault case.
You end up in a strip club at 18.
I remember playing
TMZ,
about Paperboy. I remember playing that the first time. I'm throwing the papers. It's hitting the fucking glass. And my daughter says to me, Dad, you're losing points. You can't throw it through the glass. I said, yes, I can. It's fun. I'm from Kensington. I'm going to keep doing it. I just kept throwing it through the glass. Just give me the remote.
Yeah.
I hope they add a feature in the new.
That was the best part.
The NCAA football game. I said
the best part was breaking shit. Sorry.
Breaking the windows and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love breaking shit.
I was thinking like in the new NCAA football game, like if you add like a feature, like, if you choose Penn State, you gotta like avoid the showers as best you can.
Oh my god!
I knew that was coming. I knew once there was anything that had to do with the NCAA that Sean was going to pull the Penn State.
You gotta hide the French ticklers.
Yeah. Your assistant coach is asking you to go to the movies with him. Do you accept? Yes or no? And you're like, I don't know. Fucking, I want to be a starter on the team. And you say yes. Next thing you know, your leg's getting rubbed, and the controller's vibrating as it's happening. You're like, oh, this feels so real.
Next thing you know, you're on your knees in the shower.
You start slipping out of your hand because of the soap on the rope.
Yeah, like it slips.
So TK, you happy you joined now?
No to self. Say no. Always say no.
Say no. Hit the circle button. Circle.
Yeah, hit the circle button.
No means yes.
Yeah, it didn't matter back then, probably.
No. So also, while you were drunk, we got a couple things here to go through.
Let's do it.
This will be the longest while you were drunk. We were off we didn't do sports for 2 weeks. Budweiser, for the first time, I think, in like 30 years.
No Super Bowl commercial.
No Super Bowl commercial. And they're actually doing it for a good reason. They're donating the funds they would have put towards a commercial for COVID.
That's
COVID.
So Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
Yeah.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
That's all. That's cool. That's a really cool.
The Clydesdale horses are now hamburger meat. That's why they can't.
It's true.
So are the car company.
So who's gonna be like a bunch of mortgage companies and fucking pharmaceuticals?
Doritos.
Yeah.
Clay Davis. Shit.
That was good.
Shit. Wow. All right. We have 2 deaths. The first one I'll say first because I don't think we're gonna spend much time on it. Dustin Diamond passed away.
Yeah.
Screech.
Yo, had a 40-inch cock.
Yeah, he had a big hammer. He did have a hammer on him, I will say.
Learned something new today.
And he's still
Learned something new.
And he's still Lisa.
Dustin Dong Diamond.
Yeah. That's part of my childhood, man. I love that show growing up. I would have looked at it a whole lot different though if I would have known what I just found out.
Yeah, so,
I didn't love the show. I loved Kelly Kapowski.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Lark Voorhees was not a tasty morsel, huh?
Oh yeah, she was a nice Hershey kiss.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who says that?
That guy.
That's such a weird. It's like some Hannibal Lecter would say that
with some fava beans.
Yeah.
When you're hungry for chocolate, you're hungry for chocolate.
Yo, it's speaking of fucking Hannibal Lecter.
So I'm looking forward to that Clarice show.
Look, it shows beside himself.
Just toss the panties.
But speaking of Hannibal Lecter, apparently the house from the Silence of the Lambs, like it's in Pennsylvania. I didn't know that, but like somebody bought it and you're able to tour it now.
Huh. Oh wow.
Oh really?
Yeah, like I didn't know that was in Pennsylvania.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Is it like near us?
I have no idea where it's at.
No,
I didn't go that far. Like
I didn't. Oh yeah, far Ravine. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, my girlfriend told me, and I was like, awesome.
Oh shit! What was the other? Oh yeah, Dustin Diamond died. Oh yeah, so TK. So he died. Before he died, I should say, he did a porn when he was hurting for money. And,
did he really?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Oh, is this serious?
Well, he got AIDS. He got AIDS from the porn. That's how he died.
I thought that he had
He didn't get AIDS. He had cancer.
It was cancer, but whatever.
Oh, he got dick cancer from doing the porn, and he died.
Jesus Christ!
When you got a dick that big and you get cancer, man, it does a number on you.
I got cancer.
He starts to come and then he pulls out.
You heard that in the medical record books? I got cancer to prick.
Cancer to prick.
Well, TK, it was nice having you on the show. I'm sure
Yeah, it's good. It's a good scene. Yeah, thanks. Got a little
This is
awkward
like
moment at the beginning.
Yeah.
Awkward moment at the end. Let's just
Got
call it a
cancer
day.
to prick.
Yeah.
You heard cancer to prick. Cancer
John
to prick.
Chaney. John Chaney, longtime Temple football.
Yeah.
Temple football. Jeez, Temple basketball. Owls
Need a mulligan.
coach. Yeah, dude. It's been all night. All night. It's been this. I can't. I'm stuttering on my words all night. I'm not. I haven't drank that much. I'm telling you. I'm beat. I'm exhausted.
Funny though, he just died,
Jeez.
but he looked dead his whole
He
life.
looks like he's been dead for the past 30 years.
Yeah.
Somebody appreciates that joke.
Sorry.
No, it wasn't funny when
It's
you
like
got
I
like,
don't know how I transitioned from that one, but
Yeah.
No, I mean, you know what? John Chaney was a great coach, probably the best college coach in Philadelphia history.
The best big five.
Well, John or Jay Wright's up there now.
He's won 2 championships. John Chaney won one, not with the Owls. He won a.
Jay Wright's in the fucking Elite 8 every year.
Yeah.
Jay Wright's taking
Jay Wright's has a little bit better of a chance to recruit, but yeah, I mean, I wonder what John Chaney would have done with Jay Wright's teams.
probably through chairs.
Yeah.
It's still
Villanova would have been all black.
When you wanted chocolate, you wanted chocolate.
And that's not true. They had Pepe Sanchez. Come on now.
That's true. They did. And he actually made the NBA, so good for Pepe.
And he was still like
the only white dude you mentioned from his team isn't even really white. He was French.
No, he's not. He's Hispanic. French.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, wait, because he's European? Where'd you come from? Where's your heritage from?
As long as somebody's paying.
It don't matter.
It's fucking time. Flyers lost 2-1.
Yeah, they lost.
All right.
They blew it again.
The last 3 things for while you were drunk on the segment.
We got to do 3 more. Fuck. We've been doing this segment for 20 minutes.
It's because you guys won't shut the fuck up.
TK, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Glad to be here. Let's talk about some more. Let's go. Let's hear it. I want to hear one more at least. One more at least.
Fuck, we get a guest on. We start showing off. The fuck.
That's the best way to do it.
Would have thought we never had a guest before.
Hey, I'm just here for the comments.
Podcast, dude.
Yeah,
I just
here for the comments.
I just got to text you guys are going straight to hell.
That's all right.
So
Don't
I
kick
so
me-
so
don't kick
speaking
me
of
out for showing fucking ice water.
so speaking of, I got a notification from Yahoo Sports. Dustin Pedroia, Red Sox legend, passes away. I was like, oh,
What?
holy shit. I went fucking nuts. I'm like, oh my God. I went to look to see what happened. He retired. He didn't die. He retired. So Yahoo Sports.
They just do that shit to get you to click on it or what?
You know what it is? We're so used to people dying. I remember I yelled at my wife, I'm like, Dustin Pedroia just died. Jesus Christ, he's fucking young. Like, he's younger than me. You know, he's actually, 1 year younger. I look, I'm like, wait, he retires? And I was disappointed by that. I was like,
So you're mad that he ain't dead.
Fuck this story.
Yes.
What a buzzkill.
Yeah.
Bastards.
So, Yahoo, way to go.
Bags.
Yeah.
So what did he retire from?
He
He's played in 3 games. He's played in 3 games the last 3.
Remember Mike? He played shortstop for the Red Sox.
Like 10 years ago.
He retired.
I was going to say, when was the last time he played?
He's played in 9 games the last 3 years. That's what it was. He was just having injuries. So, baseball. For the first time in 30 years, no Hall of Famers, no new Hall of Famers were elected to the Hall of Fame in baseball.
And Kurt Schilling just said, just take my name off the ballot because he's a sore loser. Which he probably should get in.
Hold on. Let's get into that for a second, though.
Okay.
Who feels that Kurt Schilling should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, not character-wise, but...
All right, but because it goes by what you accomplished on the field, right?
Yeah.
So if he should be in the Hall of Fame, Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
But Kurt Schilling didn't bet against teams, you know what I mean, Ryan?
But he didn't do that when he was on the field.
But he still did it.
But he didn't do it when it's supposed to go by what you accomplished on the field.
He got a comp when he was a manager. He was
a player.
He was a player manager, but still, 100% Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
Agreed.
100.
Go ahead, TK.
I agree
with that.
Yeah, I mean, he's based on what he did on the field, gambling aside. Like, I understand the other guys that aren't going to get in because they use performance-enhancing drugs. They took something to get better at the game. Pete Rose didn't do that. He was just doing something on the side that probably a ton of other guys were doing at the same time anyway. Yeah, maybe not on baseball, but on going to the casino and playing blackjack or whatever. I mean, it's you can get into a little bit of a different conversation here, but I think based on what he did on the field, no questions asked. He didn't cheat to get the numbers that he had, so he should.
And that's
he was a jerk off after he was off the field.
But that's a good point that Dave Peterson puts up. He didn't bet on his team to lose.
Right.
He bet on them to win. So he was trying to win.
Well, Polsky just threw up something here. Rolls
I don't even know if they were 16.
Speaking of 16, I don't know if I ever told you, but I lost my virginity to a 16-year-old.
I mean, a wet pussy's a wet pussy.
I remember having this conversation with my dad, and my dad's like, "What? Who?" And I said, "Sarah from next door." And he goes, "Son, that poor girl's mentally disabled." I said, "I know, Dad, but you told me my first time she'd be with someone special."
Sean, that might be one of the best ones.
Hey, Sean, at least your dad gave you a little bit of good advice.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. All right. TK's like
a child.
I got some good stories about my dad too.
Yeah.
So what if she drools while she eats cereal?
All right, Gary, let him talk.
I'm putting her in the ass.
Did your dad love you, TK?
Oh yeah. Well, not like that.
Was he your baseball coach?
No.
Bad memories for you guys. Stop.
Did you do a lot of camping?
Did you bring your canteen?
Do you really have a good story, or you just?
I do. I one of the
KY.
Yeah, right. So what? One of the very first episodes I ever did, I Need a Mulligan. I do a segment at the end that it's I Need a Mulligan moment of the podcast where we talk about second chances and do-overs, and we need a ton of those, right? But growing up, I think it was like 8th grade. I had a girlfriend. I was going to, I think it was her birthday party at the time, and it was me and like 8 of my buddies sitting in the basement, just hanging out, getting ready to go to this dance. And I could just hear my mom and dad upstairs, like kind of rumbling around, like trying to talk. And I can just imagine my mom was like, "Hey, Terry," that was my dad's name, said, "Hey, Terry, you got to go down and talk to these boys, man. They got girlfriends. You got to go down and give them the birds and bees talk." And he's like, "I ain't fucking, no way, man. There's 8 boys down there. I ain't fucking doing it." And she was like, "No, Terry, you need to go down there and give them the birds and bees talk." So he was like, "All right, fine, fuck it. I'll go down there, give him the birds and bees talk." And a little backstory about my dad. He was Navy man, 21 years, just kind of I wouldn't say grumpy, but he had a way about him where everybody was just kind of intimidated by him. So all of a sudden we're sitting down there having a good time, laughing, joking. All of a sudden we hear this boom, 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 boom coming down the stairs. And we're like, "Oh, fuck. Like, what's going to happen?" So my dad comes in and he goes, "Boys, got some words of advice for you. Don't stick your dick in anything you don't want to marry." Turned around and walked away.
That was the birds and bees talk.
That was it. That was it. And the I Need a Mulligan moment was, I was like, fuck, I'm never going to live this down. I'm in 8th grade. Like, all these guys are laughing. I'm like, I got made fun of because I didn't French kiss my girlfriend the week before. I'm like, I'm never going to live this down. Yeah. Like, this is crazy. But I wish I would have just like took a chill pill and just enjoyed it, because all my buddies, they still talk about it to this day.
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
That's great that you're still friends with some of your buddies from 8th grade. That's really cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was small town. I grew up in a small town, Seward, Nebraska. We grew up with like, I think 100 and maybe 20 people graduated in our class. So yeah,
I never got that talk, but my dad just showed me.
Just give you a Playboy.
No, he literally.
No, literally.
No, he told him, "Bend over. This is the hole it goes in. It goes in right there. You slide it in nice and smooth. Like, you got the feeling."
Yeah. Day and night.
It took Sean behind the shed and said, "I ain't telling you again." So listen the first time.
All right, Tim, is there any while you were drunk stories?
Yeah, and the last one was that the Players Association has shot down the universal DH. They do not want the universal DH this year.
Oh, interesting.
There will be no.
Really?
Yep.
There will be no dickhead.
No dickhead. So
no dickhead.
All right. So that was while you were drunk. Wow, it was a long one. We still have SSCS too, by the way. So we'll say that for, unless you want to do that now before we get into football.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't have one.
All right, TK, we got to explain to TK what SSCS is, just in case he comes up with one.
So anything that's happened in the last week or two, TK, that it doesn't have to be sports related. Anything that's pissed you off, anything, and you have a little rant that you want to go on, this is your chance. So we'll save you for last. So
the SSCS is Seaman Swallowing Cocksucker of the Week.
That's right.
Okay.
Mike, you have one, right? Yeah, I know Mike has one. So you can go first.
Seeming swallowing cocksucker of the week. And this is why. You cocksucker! I'll punch you in the mouth.
So I think for the first time ever, I'm going to call myself the SSCS of the week. So
what happened?
So what happened was so I don't have cable. I'm a cord cutter. So you guys can all start with your cheap ass comments and, all those different things. So same thing there. Good.
It's all good.
Yeah. So I have an antenna on the roof to the local stations.
What is this? What is this, 1984?
Yeah, exactly. Right?
You look so good.
I got an antenna on the roof, and
ain't my type of height.
I thought that I was supposed to be able to talk This is my fucking segment, for Christ's sakes.
Today, Junior.
Spit it out, Turbo.
Blah, blah, blah. Go home.
Anyway, I lose all the stations. I lose all my local stations except ABC. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, it's snowing. Is it the snow that knocked it off? Is it like pointing in a different direction? What the fuck is happening? Like, and I'm like, and it's every TV. I'm checking all the different TVs. I'm like, do I need to get on a roof? Do I need to get somebody with a ladder? It's fucking snowing. I can't fix it while it's snowing, this and that. So I text my dad and I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on. I'm researching it and shit. He's like, all right, well, to check all the TVs, you go down the basement. I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, it's got to be a bad splitter. I'm like, all right, let me check the splitters and this and that. And I go down, and I'm checking the splitters and stuff like that. And then I check and I see that there's a plug that's hanging down. I'm like, oh, fuck. The antenna has a plug that, like, basically, enhances the signal. And the thing fell out. And, yeah, so I plugged it back in and everything worked. So I'm an asshole that, for 4 days I didn't have it because the plug was unplugged.
4 days?
Yeah.
4 days, Mike?
Why? We got other stuff. I mean, we can still
4
stream
days,
shit.
though, dude.
What a
We
fucking
can still stream.
shitbag.
We can
You
still
were
stream like
definitely-
Netflix and
you're
Hulu.
definitely the Steven Swan cocksucker. 4 days, dude.
4 days to check to see if a plug was plugged in. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 days.
Gary, do you have one?
I thought it was something much bigger than that.
I do.
Seeming swallowing cocksucker of the week.
All right, go ahead.
The Philadelphia Flyers neutral zone defense. Third period defense. What?
Nice, Rose.
Straighten it out.
Forgot to pay his bill. I got one.
Yeah,
Wait, he's
speaking of
kinda-
that,
He's kind of there. Go ahead, Gary. You're back again.
Well, what happened? You didn't
Yeah,
hear
you
what I said?
froze. Yeah, you froze about the neutral zone defense, and you froze.
You must have went into a bad zone with the helicopter.
You had a little hole in your mouth like that too.
All right.
The
Mine.
Philadelphia Flyers neutral zone defense and the third period altogether team. What's
Yeah.
going on? Fix it up. Straighten it out.
Straighten it out, AV.
Seeming swallowing cocksucker of the week. And this is why.
You cocksucker!
I'll punch you in the mouth.
So he wrote one of my all-time favorite albums, Antichrist Superstar. Marilyn Manson is my SSCS of the week. He and you know what? It's probably not just this week. If it turns out to be true, but he's basically been accused of abusing his ex-girlfriend, and basically like everyone is dropping, like his manager, his record company, talent agency. Like he's lost everything this week.
And
After
everybody's coming out and saying he's a bad dude. Like,
so the one who did it was the Kata Don Veed or whatever her name is, that the model he was married to for about a year. She came out and said the only abuse he had in our relationship was drug abuse. She goes, because otherwise we were together for 7 years before that, and if he laid a hand on me, I would have never married him.
Freshly.com.
Yeah, that's right. She cooked the meals. So I don't know. Like I don't know how much. It's a little preemptive of all these people to come out and drop him without knowing his side.
Yeah, it's premature.
It is. It's very much premature. So it's kind of a shame, and it's basically any woman. Like I can have an ex-girlfriend just come out of the woodwork and say, "Yeah, Sean hit me," and all of a sudden I'd lose my job. Right? How's that fair? When I don't have a chance to defend myself.
Just because you left it on her and not in her.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
You got it all over my shirt.
There's also like a lot of people coming out and saying like he's truly a bad dude.
Yeah, well, Trent Reznor came out and basically said he denounced him 25 years ago. He hasn't talked to him in 25 years because he's a scumbag. He's a fucking bad person. Stuff like that. So
Westmoreland said the same thing.
Yeah, yes, he did.
So it's that sucks, man. That dude's like me and you, Sean, feel the same way. Like that dude's like one of my idols. Like that album's like got a straight beeline into my DNA. So
I wouldn't call him an idol, but I would call him I would call him one of my favorite artists for sure.
Yeah,
I'm disappointed by this. So
yeah, that
But
sucks. Man.
I can't say I'm surprised. Look at him. He had a drug problem. He was I don't know.
He's an alcoholic now.
He used to break bottles and cut himself and shit on his stomach. Like, who's not like? Are you surprised he didn't hit a woman? Like, But aside from that, TK, do you have one?
I got one.
Well, go ahead. You go for you. No, you go first.
Oh,
that way.
That's where he is.
Damn it! That way. You
go ahead, Rye.
Shit.
All right, so mine is Mike. For going 4 days without checking to see if something's plugged in without fucking TV.
I had TV. We do most of the stuff streaming, and we had ABC.
To stay with ABC for 4 days because something came unplugged.
And you
for
have
4 days.
You weren't able to watch sports.
Well, no, I mean, I don't. No, I had the NBC Sports. I streamed the sports.
Oh, okay.
So
4 days, your daughter couldn't watch fucking cartoons.
My daughter watches Netflix all the time.
That's fucked up.
4 days, Mike. 4 days.
And the plug's underneath the ceiling. I had to pull a ceiling. Like, it's not like it was just like a plug that you could see somewhere. Like, you had to like lift up the ceiling.
You were about to go on the roof.
Yeah. Well, if I had a ladder, I probably would have. Yeah.
If you would have had a ladder, you would have been on the roof in a snowstorm.
Yep.
Yeah, trying to figure something out, figuring out whether it was
All right, I got to play the intro for TK so he gets his own intro.
Seeming swallowing cocksucker of the week. And this is why. You cocksucker! I'll punch you in the mouth.
None of you guys work at a car dealership, do you?
Yeah.
No.
I'm the one who's a salesman.
You're a salesman?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I work in a warehouse, dude.
every fucking time I try to go buy a car, it always seems like it's something different. And I thought this time was going to be different. It was pretty smooth, streamlined. And then, hey, we come in. It's only going to take a few minutes to sign all the paperwork, or you're there for fucking 2 hours.
Yes.
Like my wife, I was like, hey, my wife's busy. Like I need her to just come in, sign a couple things. Like I just need her here for like 2 minutes. Like, can I bring her in at 2 and get this shit signed? Oh yeah, no problem. We sat there for fucking an hour. And then she had to leave to go pick up the kids from school. And then we had to go back to sign. I was like, motherfucker, this is why I don't buy cars.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's an all day thing.
It's fucking stupid. I was there 2 times too before we had the paperwork, and I was just like, "Hey, my wife's busy. Like I'm busy. Like, can we just make this fucking easy?" No, they can't make it fucking easy. Ever.
The car I got now, I went in there to fucking look at a fucking $5,000 Kia. 8 hours later, I'm leaving with a fucking $14,000 Maxima Sentra. And it's like, what the fuck? It took 8 fucking hours for this? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's fucking dumb. Yeah. So
and then they try and get you on the warranties and stuff. That's what it is. They try to help you stuff, and they wear you the fuck down. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got fucking burned on a warranty once, and I'm like, I ain't fucking ever doing it again. I'm like, you can talk to me till you're fucking blue in the face, but I ain't fucking taking it. Well, if this is the only time that you can have it, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not taking it. You can ask me as many times as you want, but I ain't gonna take it.
If you take it, like it's like, oh well, you won't if you decide not to take it, and you have 364 days, but that 365th day, if you didn't cancel it by then, all of a sudden you're like, yeah.
But this is the last time I'm going to offer it to you. Are you sure you don't want it? Yeah.
I already told you 2 minutes ago. Suck my dick.
Yeah, I don't want that. 3 times ago. It's like they have to go to the fourth no before they decide.
How can I explain this to you in a way that you'll understand?
Yeah.
I'm not negotiating.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking want it.
Yeah, your mother's a whore. Can I get this car?
Here's the check. Can I get out of here, please?
Yeah, there you go. Dave has the rant.
Peterson had a good rant. He said, weather people, they don't know shit about the weather, all the fancy equipment, but they don't know how to use it. They say 200 inches, we get 2. They say it dusts and we get 30 plus. And they were kind of right in my area. They were kind of right. They called
this is one of the few times that they did nail it, but it's the only job, honestly, where you can be wrong 100% of the time and not get fired.
Unless we were
Sean,
popular.
how much did we end up getting?
I got over a foot.
Did we?
I had over.
Okay.
I had over a foot here. Yeah.
In the city,
we got 14 inches here.
in the city, I got 9 inches of snow and like 2.5 inches of ice.
And here's TK just basically like biting. It's like he's just like
He's like, I live in.
He's like, I got 50 yesterday.
Yeah.
And that was on top of 50. He's like, what the fuck are you guys like?
That's the ongoing joke here is that like all my relatives in Nebraska got like a foot of snow the other day. You guys are getting a foot of snow. It's like all these motherfuckers are taking our snow. Oh, wait a minute. We don't want it. You guys can have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want it.
We got another 8 inches coming tomorrow after over a foot Monday and Tuesday.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
nuts.
areas. A buddy of mine lives central PA near the Pocono Mountains, and not central, northeast, I guess. You got 32 inches of snow.
Yeah,
No.
Garrett, Kathy got 28.
Like, fuck that, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was just me in there 16 times.
And you got the boss on the phone. You coming to work?
So TK, what's
coming to work?
TK, you've been in Minnesota. You said 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Like, what's the average at a winter? Like, does it like snow every other day? Like, do you get accumulation?
Yeah. The
Like-
first year we were here, it seemed like it snowed like every other day. I mean, you would have like on stop signs, it was piled up like 3/4 of the way up a stop sign.
Jesus.
Yeah, they like people here. The one thing that I was really curious about when we first moved here was all of a sudden people started putting these things in their like on the side of their driveways and on their sidewalks. And like along their, like if they were a corner route, they put up like these little poles. I'm like, what the fuck is people doing? I was like, oh shit, they're doing that because there's so much snow and they want to know like where their driveway is, where their sidewalk is.
Jesus.
Yeah, they put up like these little orange poles and they're like about 4 or 5 feet tall. And they just line them up so they know where to snow plow and do that.
That's
bullshit.
so they can get in and out of their driveway with fucking shit up.
Yeah. Well, and then when they pull out their snowblower, they know where to go because there's so much damn fucking snow. Like there was the place that we lived last year. They pushed this snow up to one side of our complex, and I shit you not, I have a picture of it. The snow is piled up all the way as tall as the building, which is like 2 stories high. I mean, it's fucking nuts. Yeah.
Do they have like cranes and shit that like pile this? Like, how do they
have
even
cranes to build that? Aliens can't get up there, guy.
Well, you know what they do is they bring in trucks, and then they have like the bulldozers or whatever they are that pull, like grab the snow and like throw them in the trucks, and then they take them outside of the city.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they'll have yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy. The first time you see it, you're like, what the oh yeah, because we're gonna get about 12 more inches of snow in the next few days.
So it snows regularly, like
yeah. This year's been pretty mild, but we haven't had near as much snow, or it hasn't been as cold as it has been in previous years. But yeah, it's been normally we get 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 inches a week. Yeah, it's nuts.
But does that shut down your part of the city, or do you just move on?
No, they've like, nah, fuck it, let's go.
Like
they literally they go out and plow it, and like if you can get somewhere, like you're expected to be able to get somewhere. Like you should
here,
know.
Like here, they shut it down. Stay off the road.
Like if you get 6 inches in Philly, like the city's shut down for a day.
No.
Yeah, TK doesn't know what TK doesn't know what a state of emergency is.
No, well, Nebraska, we did that, but here it's like no. I mean, we had like 8 inches overnight the other day, and they didn't shut anything down.
Yeah,
and they didn't even expect it. They didn't even like, oh, it's going to be a dusting, and we got like some parts got 5. Some places up north got a little bit more, like 8. I think we got like 5 or 6 here, but. I mean, we weren't even expecting it, and nothing showed. We had school the next day.
We would have been out of work for 2 days.
Yeah, probably.
Like in Nebraska, is it a big like ranch town? Is there a lot of guys that locally do ranches? Like, what is the big like commercial
corn. So like corn, soybeans, those types of things. So like out where I lived, there was a lot of farming. And then you have Lincoln and Omaha that are more
Omaha.
like, yeah, bigger cities. Yeah, yeah.
Were you saying
Manning?
When he said corn, did you start doing? Did you say singing?
Not that corn. Not that corn.
Yeah, no, so yeah, I grew up small town, a lot of farmers where I grew up.
Cattle ranches or things
they do cattle there as well. Yeah, for sure. Pigs is another big one.
What?
Yeah. I remember scooping out some pig farms. That's not a lot of fun, but I did it for.
You remember any of their names?
No, yeah, thank you. I saw that coming. I was just scooping their shit so I could get some free beer.
Speaking of corn, Brian, did I send this to you? The band Corn, the band name is almost Larry. They were almost called Larry because that was their manager at the time. And the manager's like, we're going to call ourselves Corn. And the manager's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He's like, well, fuck it. We're going to call it Larry. He goes, you can't call your band Larry. He goes, well, it's either Corn or Larry. Fucking decide. He's like, Corn it is. And it worked out for him, man. Because, really. I mean,
yeah, Jonathan Davis says to this day, like, our band's name is Corn. It's the stupidest, funniest thing you could ever fucking imagine.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to go with it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Unlike I gotta be honest, unlike our podcast names, I love our name and I love your podcast name, brother. I need a mulligan. I love that name. So
you always need a mulligan.
I figured I probably need a lot being a podcast host, so I just went with it.
Yeah, I think we already said we're going to name our show "The Sixers Need a Mulligan" because last night's game wasn't good, but
Be right back, fellas.
This show needs a mulligan. That's what we should call this show. This show needs. Especially my John Chaney comment earlier at Villanova. Let's get to football. We got a big game this weekend. The Super Bowl. The Chiefs.
I'm going to need a beer for this one.
Yeah.
See, that's why I did. That's why I did this. I just went ahead and brought a cooler with me, so I didn't have to get up. Now, hopefully, I just don't have to pee.
Yeah. I got a fridge right behind me, and I'm hoping those beers are cold by now. I bought them warm and they weren't. I threw them in the freezer. The Chiefs and the Buccaneers. Tom Brady in his 10th Super Bowl, going for a 7th ring, which is absolutely insane that he's been. I mean, this consistent. I mean, think about it. He's been playing football for 20, 21 years, and half the time he's been in the league, he's been in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
stupid.
Oh, Brady.
Yeah, absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
And then you got the Chiefs.
But now you got the problem with Andy Reid's son. Does that distract him?
No.
Oh,
No.
I saw that.
No.
Well, he had. Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. I think Sean, you were about to. Sorry to step all over you there, but I mean, yeah. I think his other son had some drug issues and that type of stuff, and he overcame that. And I don't see it being an issue with
I almost
Andy Reid.
When I heard the news about the son who got in the accident, I almost said, "Is that the same son who?" Oh wait, no, that one died. That's right. It wasn't the same one. I literally did that, and I didn't mean that to be mean. I was like, "Oh shit, that's right. It's a different son." So now this one's got problems too. So and he's
Actually, the Chiefs have other problems, man. They got a COVID issue going on.
Has that been resolved?
No, there's a few players that aren't going to be there because of it, and they're also down. There's 2 starting fucking tackles.
Yes.
Well, one of the receivers just came.
DeMarcus Robinson, he's back.
Yeah, DeMarcus Robinson's playing. Yeah, he's playing.
Apparently, what happened? It was their barber, and there was guys getting a haircut. There was somebody in the chair when the barber heard that he would test positive.
Oh,
yeah, we're all trying to get the Mahomes cut, and the guy's like, "You mean you don't have to get the Mahomes discount?" Haircut?
No, I can only give you a fade.
Fucking State Farm.
State
So they're
Farm,
not
yeah.
going to. State Farm's not going to be a sponsor of this podcast, probably. Huh?
Yeah.
I guess not. No,
Not many people are, man. Like, have you seen our show? What the fuck?
dude. So
this is
What are you
normal.
wearing?
You think
I got
this
about-
is a normal show?
Yeah.
just
I got the exact same amount of sponsors probably as you guys do. You're
I mean,
good.
we're talking about fucking Helen Keller and Sean Sad fucking him in his ass. Like, what the fuck? Would you sponsor us?
If I had money, yeah, but I don't because I'm a broke podcaster like you fellas.
And we all.
if I owned stock in KY, I would.
What about the blue waffle?
Yeah. Lego fucking Eggo sponsor.
I mean, I can't even open a beer without fucking making the. I pulled the fucking tab. I can't even get it in the. Pulled the tab off and it fucking went right in the beer.
Oh no!
Hey, it's
Dumbass.
still drinkable.
Yeah, you got
I'm
it.
fucking still drinking it for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You got it in the hole. You're halfway there.
yeah. Twice. I got 2 girls.
Hey,
Oh, you're a Mormon. You're a Mormon.
Yeah, but you got an aristocrat.
He got it in the hole and there ain't even hair around it.
Are you from Utah?
I meant I have 2 daughters. Whatever.
Hey,
Potato.
I got 3 daughters.
Yeah, Polsky said it must have been a baby shower. All right,
No,
so
don't be surprised, TK. That dude Mark's going to try to call you. He wants to go fishing.
All right, let's do it.
And fishing is code for.
Hey, if he wants to drive out to Minnesota, timeout. I'm busy that weekend.
This guy can
I'm
both
busy.
300 pounds, but he can't hit a fucking softball.
And he's got
I'm
plenty
busy.
of fishing rods and a banjo.
Oh, so I'm busy. No, I'm just,
I don't know. I might be one of his best friends, and he never fucking offered me to go fishing. What the fuck?
Oh,
I'm just
that's
throwing
messed
it out
up.
there. I know, right?
You don't have a dark goatee and a fishing hat on.
You don't have the fishing vibe, Sean.
No, I don't. I don't have a fish.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I literally got into fish. Like now they were talking about it. I got into fishing because I'll wake up early in the morning and it's like my time to go out and like just do my own thing.
Because you live in Minnesota.
Yeah, and and in the summers it's nice out in the summer, so it's kind of fun to go out and do it. But go out and take some glaucoma medicine and do my thing.
You do ice fishing, TK?
I haven't yet. I have two friends that I know here in town. They're like, "Hey, we need to take you out," but I haven't gone here.
I actually wouldn't mind trying that, man.
I did it twice, and I tell you what, man, it's even if you don't catch fish, just being out there and on the frozen fucking pond or wherever you're going, it's a blast, dude.
I hope you're going in a pond and not someone's pool. I mean, what the fuck? Where else you can go fuck?
Well, if you're catching fucking fish in somebody's pool, like what the fuck's going on in that pool?
Yeah, man, it's a tent. It's like a tent. You tent, you put over the spot, you cut a hole in the fucking.
You're fishing in someone's
Garrett,
fucking.
put your arms up again. Garrett, put your arms up again. Open your mouth. Look at that.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if the Minnesotans had some fish in their pool. To be honest with you, that's how crazy they are about fishing. But yeah, out here, the ice fishing thing is absolutely fucking nuts. I mean, they have like you've seen Grumpier Old Men, where they have like that's basically what it is here. I mean, you'll go by pond or lakes out here, and it's like fucking whole different community. You just go out there and hang out, and they hang out all weekend long and drink beer and just have a good time. So
you just get lit up, even if you don't catch fish. At least you had a good weekend.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's basically what they're doing. It's crazy.
I don't eat the shit anyway. I just go out and have a good time. Yeah, when I was a kid,
Right. Sean doesn't like seafood.
No, I don't like seafood. But when I was a kid, I used to fish at the. I was Philly kids. We called it a creek.
Yep,
creek.
I called it crick.
Do you call it a creek?
Oh yeah, Nebraska. Yeah, Lincoln Creek.
No shit.
It was Lincoln
I thought it was a
Creek,
Philly
but
thing.
no, Lincoln
I thought it was a
Creek,
Philly thing. It was like the creek. So I dumped the thing in there and dump online in there and throw a hot dog or worm or whatever on there and catch a fucking fish. Well, I don't like touching a fish. So I would there was a rock pile. I would just swing my fucking rod and swing the fucking thing against the fucking rocks and beat it off the fucking hook.
Fuck, Sean.
You know, I use your teeth.
Yeah, and then I just rehook it back.
Just use your teeth and just throw it in, man.
Yeah, and just drop it right back in, and there's the fucking dead fish floating by, and then catch the next one. Dude, there was eels. There's all kinds of nasty shit in that fucking thing, man.
So you just beat the fuck.
A lot of sunnies. A lot of sunnies. Oh yeah. Oh, I beat the fish against the rocks. Yep, I'll kill them all.
What the fuck, man?
So then the one time I forgot, I caught two big ones, and I put them in my tackle box. I took them home, and I forgot about them. Left them in the garage for like 2 weeks.
Oh my god!
It was the worst. To this day, I still remember the smell and the sight. The amount of maggots.
That whole fucking tackle box would have went in the trash.
No, dude, no, you throw that in a fucking bag and use that for catfish.
No, that whole fucking tackle
box went in the trash.
No, you keep that.
No, it was disgusting.
Your face can keep that. That's going in the trash.
Nah, catfish.
Is this a fishing podcast? Exactly. Fuck this.
I was gonna say, what? How do we run into the fishing podcast?
I know.
Here?
Fucking hat.
We haven't even talked about football yet.
Your fucking hat, TK. That's
corner pub fishing. My bad, yo. I couldn't agree. Here, hang on.
No. Leave it on, man. That's a good looking hat.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
That's my daughter's. So, but we do that. No, okay. Damn it. I got a pink one. You want to do a pink one?
There you go. It's breast cancer awareness month somewhere.
Yeah. Oh fuck. That
looks. You look like Aunt Jemima.
Yeah, here we go. All right, we're back. Let's roll.
All right. So, Super Bowl 55, Chiefs, Buccaneers. We'll do predictions in a second, but we'll get to the Packers after we talk about this because you're being a Packers fan. We want to ask you about the Aaron Rodgers situation, but the Super Bowl in itself, I got to be honest, guys. Me personally, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I'm so out of touch with this game. I think because of COVID, because of no party. We're not doing anything. It's anticlimactic for me. It's the whole Tom Brady. Like if Tom Brady wins his 7th, if Andy Reid wins another one, I really don't care. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but that's my feeling on it. And you guys have the floor.
You're not. I mean, it's going to take an effort to put it on the TV to watch it.
Well, I'm not that far. Like, I'm going to watch it. Like, it's definitely going to be on my TV. I'm kind of on that a little bit, Sean. But like, even though Andy Reid has a Philadelphia, line, like, you know what I mean. I'm not going to lie. I'm rooting for Tom Brady. I am. I appreciate what he's done. I've always been in the minority. I don't hate him.
I hate him. I can't stand that fucking.
Like I don't hate him. I want to see him go and get another one with another team to kind of like
shove it in the Patriots' face and
yes, the Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft and say,
but he's already done that.
Hell,
he's already done that.
Hell.
By making it to the Super Bowl?
Because he's already made it to the Super Bowl with a different team.
Yeah, but to win it with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'll tell you, the Chiefs, dude. They're just not going to do it.
I'll tell you what.
Did you think they were going to beat the Packers? I mean,
it's amazing it's amazing that they that Brady ended up doing this. I'd never thought that team, Tampa Bay wasn't that good last year, and they didn't change a whole lot. And then all of a sudden, like Brady comes in, and now Winston was an awful quarterback. I mean, threw for a ton of yards and stuff, but obviously Winston wasn't very good. But yeah, it's wild that they went from 7-9, 6-10, or whatever it was to being in the Super Bowl.
That's Brady,
and Brady, and I tell you what, Ronald Jones had a fantastic year for them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was able to run the ball. Now he didn't do anything against Green Bay, but I think he was coming back from injury or whatever.
Yeah, he came back from injury. Yeah, they had Fournette. Well, they signed Fournette, which
Fournette
phenomenal.
Fournette, who did nothing all season, comes into the playoffs and has a good playoff run. Like,
and the defense was okay, but it didn't play like this. The defense is unbelievable in the playoffs.
Yeah. So, TK, let's get your thoughts on kind of, not just your thoughts on the game, but I mean, like the whole Brady situation.
Yeah.
Kind of recap, like.
Yeah. Well, first off, you guys have a crazy lineage when it comes to the game. Like you have several different sides of the story here, and you kind of you're invested a little bit in terms of the Andy Reid and the Tom Brady thing, out where you guys are from. But it's one of those things where the Super Bowl every year for me as a podcaster and as a fan, like I like that it's here because it's all the hard work that everybody's done throughout the year to get to this situation. But then I'm a little bit sad that football's going to be over, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, the whole Tom Brady versus Mahomes bullshit just really, really gets to me because I've heard a lot of narratives out there about GOAT versus GOAT. I'm like, well, are you really going to give like Mahomes the GOAT?
I'm sorry, not to like cut you off, but like I've heard that Mahomes might be the GOAT. He's been in the league for 4 fucking years.
Exactly.
He might be the next.
Like in 20 years, he might be the GOAT.
It's about the legacy. It's not about. It's not about what he's done up to this point.
He's not even close to what Tom Brady has done.
Nope. Not even. And that's what bugged the fucking shit out of me was I don't like it shouldn't be GOAT versus GOAT. What you guys have kind of talked about here is that both of these teams are really, really good, and it's about the team aspect. It's not necessarily about Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, because especially on the Tom Brady side of things, I mean, he knows how to manage games. He knows how to win football games, but at the same time, somebody's got to stop Patrick Mahomes and that elite fucking offense, right? Yeah. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, they're going to be able to do that this Sunday. And here's the thing. So they played 2 of the best NFC offenses in the league. They shut down Michael Thomas and the New Orleans Saints, and then they went ahead and shut down Devontae Adams and that Green Bay offense. Right. And can they do it? The question is, can they do it again this Sunday with the Hill-Kelsey combination? And that's where you kind of sit back and say, it's a little bit different of a beast. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they can do the exact same thing, but that's where I look at it and say it's a possibility.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's you brought up the good point of with the Saints and Green Bay, the NFC teams, you had to shut down Thomas, you had to shut down Adams, but Kansas City, you have to shut down Hill and Kelsey. You can't just focus on one guy.
Same with Watkins. Yep. Like same with Watkins take over a game.
Oh, yeah. Right.
He's done it this year.
There's
and
so many weapons.
And they have a decent running game. Edwards-Helaire. Dude, how about Shady having a chance to win 2 Super Bowls in a row with 2 different teams, by the way.
But I mean, Tyreek Hill gets 256 yards on his own in the last game he's played. How do you stop that?
Well, he looked like he made grown ass men in the NFL. They get paid millions of fucking dollars. He made them look slow.
Yeah.
Last week, like against the Bills. I mean, he looked like he was
good defense.
Yeah, he was dead to fucking rights. Dead to rights on the sideline, and he made one move and juke move and whoop 50 yards, and it's like
he runs like he's shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, it was fucking insane. It was nuts.
What's crazy about Tyreek Hill? As fast as he is, he's not the fastest guy on that team. McCall Hardman is.
But I'm just saying
No, Darryl, I'm not what you're saying. No. I get it, Ryan, but I'm saying people can't stop him. Right, but McCall Hardman's actually the fastest guy on that team. Like he's faster than Tyreek Hill.
You know what? The other thing is, I'll give Andy Reid credit because he's called a good offense. Like his schemes, the plays that he's calling, some of these little like shovel flip passes and stuff like that, all these different motions, and then like throwing a little shovel pass to Kelsey right up the middle or something like that, just like some genius play calling that he
was like offensively, he was always like that. Like he's innovative. You see creativity. It's a play you're not expecting. It's like, whoa. Like, remember the Eagles always used to run them shovel passes, and it would always come when you didn't expect it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, shit. It was perfect call. Perfect call.
That's the thing with those, like, not to get personal with it, and I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not talking about the fucking Eagles. You know what? We're not talking about the fucking Eagles this week. That's because they don't deserve they don't deserve any fucking airtime right now. The offensive defensive coordinator will still be here next week. We can talk about that next week. Okay, we have enough going on this week, but that's the thing that lacked with this offense here in Philly was that the creativity, the shovel passes, and I said this on Anita Mulligan. There was no creativity. There was no end arounds. You had the speed. You drafted speed. You never used it that way. You know, none of that stuff. And here's Andy Reid, who's been in the league for, a head coach for 21 years now, and is coming up with new creative ideas to run his offense. And yet, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
right.
It's like he learned his lesson from the time at Philadelphia, which is unfortunate for you fellas. But
you know what? I mean, he's also got Patrick Mahomes.
It is, it is what it isn't. I mean, look, I'm when he left, it was time for him to leave. There are people now go, oh, I wish Andy was still our coach. I'm like, what? Fucking 10 years after he left, you still wish he was our coach?
No, when the Eagles moved on from him, it was time.
Right.
Yeah. They got stale. They weren't responding to him anymore. It was time to move. He was here for 14 years. It was time to move on.
Yeah.
Right.
We had as a coach sometimes. Yeah. As a coach, sometimes you just like it's that point where you're like, hey, it's mutual. We're going to move on. But then when you sit back and you look at what you've done and how you can be better, that's what separates a lot of those guys that are good and great is they can sit back and look at, hey, what have I done? Oh, crap. What do I need to work on? And Andy Reid is one of those guys that's probably looked at what he had at Philadelphia and said, fuck, I probably could have done a lot better. And now that I have the same situation, or maybe not the exact same situation, but I have a situation that's similar here in Kansas City, I'm not going to fucking squander the opportunity. Yeah. And I think that's what you're seeing.
That being said, TK, what's going on with the Philadelphia Eagles organization now is they're still trying to feed from that.
Well, I mean, they can't let it go.
Like they're still trying to feed from what Andy Reid gave them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so
no, I agree.
TK, I think the part of the thing, at least from the Philadelphia side of things, is that there was, I think that he maybe has a little bit more control in KC. It's a little bit more conducive. It's a little more collaborative. Or not even collaborative, but it's more like focused. Like they have everybody rowing in the same direction. I don't know if Philadelphia has ever really been in a situation where they've had management, ownership, and everybody kind of like all behind the same page. Yeah. And that might be something why he's having more success too.
I'm just gonna say
makes sense because the guy's a good. I mean, you got to admit the guy's a good coach.
He gets another ring. He has to be mentioned as the greatest coach ever.
How could you know?
No. Belichick's always going to be the greatest coach ever.
Yeah, I said mentioned, Mike.
No. Yeah, but that's like mentioning other quarterbacks with Tom Brady as the greatest quarterback ever. Like you can mention them, but like it's like
for 21 years, for 16 out of 21 years, his team has competed for the Super Bowl, and he has 2 rings.
He could be mentioned as maybe the second one.
He's not in that conversation.
Not with Belichick.
Because 20 years for Belichick, 19 of them, or I'm sorry, 20 years for Belichick, 9 of them, he was in the Super Bowl.
And 19 or 18 of them, he won his division.
I mean, you can't argue with that.
No, you can't. All I'm saying is that, he's in that conversation if he gets another ring.
He's in the conversation as somebody, like, if you take Belichick out of it, then maybe you could kind of
look at different quarterbacks he's done it.
What about Parcells? Parcells won what? 3, right? Did Parcells win 3 Super Bowls?
No, he won 2.
So you're saying he's in top 5 at least, right?
You can talk about him in top 5, but like you can't talk.
The conversation is there. Look what let's see in 3-4 years where Belichick's at without Brady. Andy Reid has done it with Donovan McNabb. He's done it with Ty fucking Detmer, with Jay Feely, with fucking Alex Smith, with Patrick Mahomes.
AJ Philly and Ty Detmer were all in the same year.
Well, yeah, I mean,
okay,
but
like, you know what I mean? Michael Vick, he got a fucking second round pick and Antonio Cromartie for Kevin Cobb because he made him look fucking spectacular.
I was going to say this earlier. I have no ill will towards Andy Reid. That's what I was trying to get at. I don't understand the whole, this whole thing with people going, I wish Andy was still here. I wish he was still here. It was time for him to go.
It went stale here.
And what he did here during his time here, it was the greatest error in Philadelphia. I know the Eagles won the Super Bowl under Doug Peterson. I'm not saying the greatest season ever.
Right.
The greatest error ever in Philadelphia Eagles franchise history was under Andy Reid.
Agreed.
5 NFC championship games. I don't know how many division titles. 9. I don't know how many division titles. They won a ton of division titles while they were here. Yeah. While he was, they've rarely missed the playoffs. He had 3 losing seasons the entire time he was here, and one of them was the first year.
Every time with Andy Reid here, the Eagles were competitive every year. Every year,
except for like the last, year.
But they weren't just competitive; they competed for the Super Bowl every year.
Right. When I say competitive, that's what I mean, because the ultimate goal is to get to that. Is to get to the, as Bill Parcells would say, get to the show.
Yeah. So TK, let's take a step back and ask you, what do you think of the Packers right now? Or how did you feel about watching the game, and what do you think of where they're at, the direction they're going, or just
the big question is Aaron Rodgers a Packer next year?
I gotta open a beer for this one.
Yeah, it's a tough. It's a tough.
Well, I'll be honest. I think Aaron put a lot of the speculation to bed last week. He went on the Pat McAfee show. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but he goes on there usually every Tuesday because his boy AJ Hawk is on it. But he went on that show. It was last Tuesday after they lost the championship game, and he was like, I like to come on here because it's real candid. It's like just like what we're doing right now. It's like we're just having a conversation. There's no bullshit involved with what I'm trying to say. And he mentioned on there that I want to be a Packer for life. He said it flat out said it. And to a certain extent, I believe him. And he said, even on the show, was, I understand the NFL is a business. If the GM and, I don't want to say coach because he doesn't really have a lot into it, but the GM, if he decides that, hey, they want to move on, they want to trade me and try to move me somewhere else, then, that's part of the business. I get it. If the GM wants to have a new job on Monday and he trades him today, then he should probably go ahead and trade him because it'd be the dumbest move ever.
Yeah.
But it sounds like, at least from Aaron Rodgers' perspective, that he wants to stay in Green Bay, and the GM and the coach LaFleur and everybody else, they would be absolutely fucking stupid to trade him. And if they did, they'd be looking at a job on Monday for sure. So I think he stays. I don't see any reason for him not to stay. And his contract's through 2023, I believe. I mean, the only reason why the GM or, those guys would want to trade him is because they release a ton of cap space. But I mean,
because they stupidly drafted a quarterback in the first round.
Well, they owe that too.
And no discredit. We're not trying to knock your team because we stupidly drafted a quarterback in the second round. So,
No, I get it. And that's why there's controversy right now. Because if they would have drafted CeeDee Lamb or the kid that you guys have. You know what I mean? Like Richardson, Jefferson. What's his name?
Jefferson. Got a Minnesota guy. Yeah,
Sorry, man. My bad. But if we would have drafted somebody in the draft that was a player that offsets Aaron Rodgers and what he does, then we wouldn't even we wouldn't even be in this fucking conversation.
No.
But all this stupid speculation is out there, and I think it's all just noise. I think it's a lot of people just trying to get clickbait to get people to, click on their shit and listen. And I'll be honest with you, I think Aaron Rodgers has a lot of pride in the fact that he's been at Green Bay this long. And I really, I might need a mulligan on one of my next podcasts, but he might, I feel like he's going to be a part of that team for a long time.
Okay. So how do they get better? Like how do they, like Aaron Rodgers is obviously getting towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
Like, we all know how he played this year, but he's also 37 years old who's been hurt. How do they get over the hump while Rodgers is still there?
I think two things. One right now is that Matt LaFleur is still early in his career there, right? And I think the reason why Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to go anywhere is because he feels comfortable in Matt LaFleur's offense right now.
He loves his offense.
Yeah. And so, he doesn't want, he's like you said, I mean, he's a little bit older, in his
37.
career. He doesn't
start over.
He doesn't want to start. Exactly. He likes what they're doing in Green Bay right now. They have, a great running game. They can offset that with, Aaron Rodgers, and he can take over a game if he needs to. The aspect of it right now is how do you finish it in the playoffs? And I feel like Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur having 2 years under their belt are going to be able to kind of sync together and figure that out as they go forward. And that's just my initial gut feeling in the situation. And I think, it's one of those things where Aaron Rodgers doesn't really want to start over. He likes what Matt LaFleur brings to the table. You guys were all talking about it with, Andy Reid and what they're doing. There's a ton of creativity now with the offense, and sky's the limit. It's only been 2 years, and I really feel like you give this team with Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur and their creativity, you give it 2 or 3 more years, and they should be able to kind of break the cycle of going to the NFC Championship game and break my fucking heart because it's
yeah. Do you think they need another weapon?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, to go with what Mike was just asking, and to go with the question, I think one of the biggest things is they have to re-sign Aaron Jones.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, they have 2 other running backs. I mean,
no, re-sign Aaron Jones. He lit it up for me on my fantasy team.
Yeah,
but they drafted Dylan or something in the second round.
Good for you.
So hey, good for me. I was a fucking champ.
There you go. So, but here's the thing, though. I mean, everybody talks about it. The running back position is a fucking revolving door. I mean, did anybody know who Aaron Jones was when he first came to the Green Bay Packers? No.
First came.
You get running backs that are relatively decent, that are athletic. They know what they're doing. They have good vision. You can get their dime a dozen, which I hate to say that because
man, I fucking hate
love
that, man.
I love Aaron Jones, but at the same time, like you can
drafted Dylan in the second round. Like he could probably
like if you move on.
Well, they already have Williams too. I mean, there's legitimately they have 3 guys in that offense right now that can put up the numbers.
Right.
That probably wouldn't kill you if you moved on from Aaron Jones.
No. I don't want to do that. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to do that. I love Aaron Jones. I think he's a great player. I think his vision is a lot better than the other 2 guys. But it's one of those things where, yeah, we need to sign him. But if we sign him, then you're not going to be able to probably go out and get any other skilled position at this point because of what you're going to have to pay him.
And that's what I was thinking. Like,
I'm gonna regret this. I'm
boy.
opening one more of these, and they're
yeah.
I'm gonna regret this.
So that's the thing.
Guy, Sean, just
No such thing. No
Straight.
such thing.
You'll be fine.
Valdez Scantling and
Lazard.
Tunyon, Lazard, and what's the other guy? They have a lot of but are these guys? Or does Aaron Rodgers make them look good, or is there an upgrade with those guys? I think that there's an upgrade with those guys.
I would agree with you. I think there definitely is an upgrade. There is an upgrade. If you wanted to try to upgrade and get some other players, you could. I think that's I
feel like that's where they're at. Like Tunyon, all those guys are good, but I feel like if you want to get that next step, you need to be like a KC where you can't just take Devontae Adams out of a game.
Yeah. Well, I guess to your point, Devontae Adams had 67 yards, I think, last week, and then Scantling had 127 and 2 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I think the talent's there.
Right.
I think it's more of the continuity of everybody being on the same page. And I really, being a coach in the past, and when you've been with a team for a few years and you kind of know what you have, it takes a while to understand exactly what you need or what type of scheme you have out there to be successful. And I just, I'm willing to be patient. It's tough when they drafted a quarterback last year when they fucking didn't need to draft a quarterback. I can still be patient.
Yeah, we know what that's like.
Yeah.
So,
our situation is worse.
Hey,
our
motherfuckers can
starter
relate.
wasn't an MVP candidate, so now we got a controversy. You think you got a controversy?
Yeah, that's way worse.
But you're on, that's kind of an interesting take. You being a Packers fan, you're willing to stay patient and see what happens with a 37-year-old quarterback who has an injury history.
Yeah. Yeah, because and another thing that Aaron Rodgers said this year is because the way that Matt LaFleur runs their offense, the way that they run it with the run game that's super heavy, I think it's like 60-40 sometimes in certain games.
Love the run game.
He didn't get sacked as much this year. Are you joking or are you serious?
No.
Being a Nebraska,
he just he drives us crazy.
Yeah.
Well, being a Nebraska kid, man, I'm all about the run game. The 90s. I'm the fucking ball guy.
Run the fucking ball. You got another guy who might want your phone number.
Yeah. Okay. We're going fishing. So, but here's the thing though, with Aaron Rodgers and the way that this offense sets up, this is the one year he said that he had no injuries. He had no injuries. He felt 100%, able to compete in all the drills and all the things that they did during the week to prepare for the game. He was able to commit 100% to all of them because he didn't get sacked as much. He didn't get pressured as much. He didn't have as many injuries as he's had in the past. And that's because of the way Matt LaFleur calls the offense and the scheme that they're trying to play. So I think Aaron Rodgers moving forward, if they keep with this type of scheme, he's not going to get injured as much. He's going to get to play into his early 40s, which he really wants to do. And he said it on record several times. And now the fact that, this year was a stepping stone for him to realize that, hey, I can do that if I stay in Matt LaFleur's offense. And I think that's another reason why he's going to stay. So great fucking question, by the way.
Okay, I got one more for you. So you've gone on and on about Matt LaFleur. You obviously love the offense. You love what it's done for Aaron Rodgers. But from a game management perspective, going for the field goal there.
I'm on board. Here's why. I know you guys are gonna fucking
Whoa.
you're probably gonna just like jump all over me. But here's the reason why I'm okay with the field goal. We were 0 for 7 on 2-point conversions throughout the year. 0 for 7.
Oh wow.
So we kick the field goal, we get the points, we stop them, we go down and score a touchdown, we win. We don't even have to worry about the 2-point conversion. Now, if we try to go for it on 4th down, we don't get it. We kick the ball to them. We stop them. We go down. We score a touchdown. We have to go for a 2-point conversion, which we were 0 and 7. 7. That's 7. Can you see it? 7. 0 for 7 on 2-point conversions. Do you want to like? That's rolling the fucking dice, man. I mean, we talk about gambling. Do you want to gamble on that? I know it's Aaron Rodgers and but I'm going for the numbers there.
Okay, not that, but look at it this way.
Short points,
right? Look at it this way. Okay, you're giving the ball back to Tom Brady. And from an outside perspective, not being a Packers fan, Tom Brady is not giving you the ball back in that situation. He's not. It's not going to happen. So if you go for the touchdown there and you don't score, you're giving them the ball at inside the 5-yard line. Aren't your chances better there than kicking the field goal and kicking it off to them?
No, I mean, to your point with the Tom Brady thing, I mean, here's a Tom Brady stat that is pretty crazy. So I believe in all the Super Bowls that he's been in, he has three drives that are more than 95 yards in the Super Bowl. He's like one of only 2 or 3 people that have ever done it. So
it's him in Montana, I think.
I say I'm sticking by it. I say take the fucking points and roll with your defense and because we're not. I mean, we weren't good on 2-point conversions.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a curious decision, but and I probably may have went for it, but it wasn't. You're not talking. I mean, you're not talking a 4th and goal from the 3. It's like it was from like the 10 or like the 8. Like it wasn't a high percentage conversion to go with there.
But taking the short points is not a bad decision.
Right. Well, I was doing this because I was like, it's splitting hairs. I mean, we can talk about it.
I just know if that was here and that was an Eagles thing, we would have blew up.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but you know what? It would have been you and I probably would have argued because I don't know if I was necessarily like I may have went for it, but I understood the decision a little bit. Like I
definitely went for it because again, what I said, if I'm giving the ball back to Tom Brady, I'm taking my chance with giving the ball back to him down that deep, like inside the 10, as opposed to taking the points and kicking it off. Maybe having a good fucking return and him getting the ball at the 40.
I'm with Ryan on that. I know I get it. It wasn't a sure thing, but man,
But this is the NFL in the playoffs, and the playoffs are a whole entire different thing. Nothing is guaranteed. So if you kick the field goal, you got a better percentage of getting the points there with the field goal than you do for going for it.
And you got to trust your defense. I know it's Tom Brady.
I get that.
And Gar, I agree with that. I hear what you're saying, but the fact I'm looking at the quarterback on the other side of the field.
Basically, Ryan and I, you guys were telling you.
Now go home and get your fucking shine
box. That's what we're
telling you.
That's what Tom Brady told the Packers. Go home and get your fucking shine box. You're going to give me the ball back. You ain't getting it back.
Hey, you're embarrassing yourself, you geriatric fuck.
And that he's not, because now he's in the fucking Super Bowl for 10th
playing home. All right, yes,
let's
do predictions.
Ever team to play in their home stadium for the Super Bowl.
Yep, that's another thing he's going to add to his resume.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to add
NFL narrative there?
Yeah, is he going to add the 7th ring to his resume?
No.
Why don't we do our picks?
I'll go first.
All right, Carl.
Well, we know Gary's saying no.
I think this game. I think this game's a classic.
3 points, by the way.
Yeah, I think it cements. I mean, he already is, but I think it cements Patrick Mahomes as the next big thing, the next historical thing. I'll say, but all that, I think it's a classic. I think it's a very entertaining game. But I'm taking the Buccaneers 34-31.
Oh shit!
I can't argue with that, bro. And from what I've seen with the Buccaneers in the second half against the Packers, they struggled. And the Chiefs, they don't struggle. They just keep it going through the entire game. I like the Chiefs. I'll say 37-24 Chiefs.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got them winning by 2 touchdowns?
I do.
Yeah, I'm actually with Gary on this one. I think that the Chiefs win by 10. I think it's going to be something like a 30-20 score, something like that. Reason being is I think that Tampa Bay, granted, Brady, greatest of all time, all that, I think they're a little bit of smoke and mirrors. I think they kind of got lucky. They played Washington, I think, in the first round. Easy matchup. I think that the Saints, great defense, but I think that Breeze was basically banged up and was a shell of himself. Couldn't throw the ball more than 20 yards, and they got to take advantage of that. I thought that Green Bay, I thought that Rodgers didn't play his best game. I thought there was too many turnovers. I thought that they took advantage of a lot of different things. The defense came to play. I feel like Tampa Bay's gotten kind of lucky to get to where they're at now, and I feel that they're not going to get lucky again. Like third time's not going to be a charm with this team against not one but 2 dynamic playmakers in Kelsey and Hill, and Mahomes, being as good as Rodgers, maybe even a little bit better at this point. And yeah, I mean, I just think that I think it's going to be like a 30-20 game. So if I'm betting, I'm taking the Chiefs with the points. And TK, I'm wondering what your thoughts are on, and Sean, I mean, obviously I want your opinion, but your thoughts on if you feel that Tampa Bay got lucky.
No, I don't. I don't think Tampa Bay got lucky. I think they played probably one of the most flawless first halves as a football team that I've probably seen in a really long time. Which
TK, that play at the end of the first half
was fucking stupid.
What the hell happened?
And here's the thing:
get behind you on that coverage. You cannot let that coverage happen.
So I think what had happened was what happened. So,
shut up and let him make his fucking point.
No, it's fine. It's good. I got flustered. So I think Pettin listened to my podcast the week before because I had just gave him a whole bunch of praise about when we hired him from Cleveland. I was like, oh shit, we're gonna have like a great defense, like all those things that he's done defensively, like the swagger and the physicality and everything that they brought to the table. Everything
comes full circle. We have a tie with Mike Pettin here.
Our defense finally started to look like the defense that I thought we were going to have when they brought him in. And then we laid an egg against the fucking Buccaneers. And that was a perfect example where he was just too fucking aggressive because he thought, oh, well, they're going to run the ball here. They're going to take 3 points. And he was like, oh, I'm going to stack the box. I'm going to blitz. And then we left King on a fucking island who was hurt like the 2 weeks prior. And they're like, oh, well, let's leave him on an island with this really speedy receiver. I can't remember who it was. And Tom Brady just threw a fucking dime.
It was Scotty Miller.
Yeah. And that was like, at that point, I was like, holy fuck, it's done. And just to my point of the fact that they played a flawless game, they saw or they knew what type of defense Pettin was going to play there, and they're like, "Hey, we have Tom fucking Brady, and I'm going to drop a dime, and we're going to make this game out of reach." And that's basically what they did. But I would say that first
play that won it for them.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the first half was flawless. The second half, Tom Brady tried to give us the game back. And the Green Bay Packers we didn't do a good enough job of capitalizing on the 3 turnovers.
Yeah, you
points
like,
off 3 turnovers.
As you're watching the game, you keep thinking, all right, the Buccaneers got control, but they keep letting them hang around. That like enough's enough. All right, we're going to win this.
Yep. And then we just
and if they allow the Chiefs to hang around like that, forget it. They're done.
Yeah, I agreed. Me personally, I don't see Tom Brady having 2 games in a row like that. I just don't see it.
I mean,
fair enough.
So TK, what's your prediction for the game?
Well, kind of going to the exact opposite of what you guys just said. I think one of the things with Tom Brady is don't let him think he can win the fucking game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and that defense and the way that they play, and Tom Brady, I mean, when he was with the Pats, the Chiefs know too well of if you let this motherfucker think he's going to win a football game, he's going to win a football game. So my whole thing here is if I'm the Chiefs and I win the fucking toss, I'm like, we want the fucking football. We want the football. We're going to go down. We're going to score. We're going to make Tom Brady and that offense think, oh, shit, we're going to have to keep up with this team. Because the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be like, we can score whenever the fuck we want. Tom Brady, are you going to be able to keep up with us? And, I think that's going to be the key to the game is the Chiefs, because the Chiefs sometimes they get to that point where I don't know, you've watched them throughout the season. It just seems like they're bored at times. They're like, well, we're so fucking good that, we're just going to kind of play with people and we're going to keep it close and we're going to kind of do that thing. And we're like, oh shit, we're in a game. It's the fourth quarter. We better step it up. And then all of a sudden they score 2 touchdowns and they win by 2 touchdowns. But I think you can't do that with Tom Brady. So you got to come out. You got to come out, hit him hard. You got to come out and play the type of game that you are accustomed to playing. And I think they're going to do that. And I think it's going to be like a 31-20, 24 type of game. I really do. I think they'll put up 31 points.
So
Chiefs, yeah.
So for a selfish reason, I want the Eagles to be the last team to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Ooh,
sure. That'd be, and it's funny because like when the and I was wrong because they won another one against the Rams in a barn burner. That was the worst Super Bowl.
That was the most boringest Super fucking Bowl I've ever seen.
Worst Super Bowl.
Terrible game.
Like what the fuck, man?
But aside from that, however. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that Andy Reid is gonna. I think he's gonna get his back-to-back Super Bowls. Tyreek Hill last time.
Oh boy.
Yep. lit up the Buccaneers. He lit up the Buccaneers the last time they played each other. Yeah, 200 something yards in the first half, and I will never forget that game. Right, Ryan? I'll never forget.
You'll never forget that game, Sean.
How were you playing against?
He was
I needed that game to get in the playoffs in fantasy.
And Tyreek Hill fucking 68 points that week.
Yeah, the guy I played against had 2 wins all year, and he had Tyreek Hill.
It was Ed Brady.
Yeah. So I'll never forget that. And so I hope I'm not saying there's going to be a repeat performance, but I think Tyreek Hill is going to have a very good game against this team again. I think that Kansas City's defense is good enough to hold off Tom Brady and Tampa Bay. I just look at the two teams. I just think that the Kansas City's here and Tampa Bay's here. I just don't think it's that even. I know you never bet against TB12. I know you never bet against him in the Super Bowl.
Man,
but how many times has Tom Brady ever been an underdog in the Super Bowl? Once.
I think once when they played the Rams.
The first time.
first year. Yeah.
That's it. So he's always been the favorite. He's always been the I don't know, man. I just look at Kansas City. I think there's too many weapons here. Something crazy is going to happen. A kickoff return for a touchdown, defensive, something crazy.
Tom Brady. How about that?
You won't see happen. And I think it's a
Tom Brady.
Yeah, you keep going on with that, bro.
Game. I think it's a 10-point game. I think Kansas City wins by 10.
So we're all like,
Right around there.
Four of us are all at the 10-point game except for Ryan. Ryan, you're on an island.
Which
Definitely means that like everybody should bet the mortgage on Ryan. Because
I'm just not going against Brady here. I get everything Sean said. What the Chiefs did to them the last time they played, but the New Orleans Saints also blew them out twice, and then look what happened in the playoff game. I just cannot.
I hear you.
Like with the history that's going on here, with the hands down the GOAT, I can't go against them. I just can't. Now,
you got Andy Reid against Bruce Arians, man. Does that not make up for some exciting shit?
Right now, will I be surprised if the Chiefs win? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I can, like my betting mind, my football mind, I just cannot go against Tom Brady. I can't.
So it's a 3-point spread. You're putting it on the Bucs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sean, it's interesting. You said Tyreek Hill's going to light it up, this and that, and Dave Peterson said that he expects Kelsey to have a good game. If there's a bet though, I think I'm going Kelsey scoring the first touchdown.
I agree with that. Tyreek Hill is a bomb or bust type of touchdown score. Yeah, that's a good prop bet right there. I would go Kelsey over.
I'm sure
Hill
you're going to get like something like 4-1 odds or something like that. So it's probably not a bad one.
Yeah. No, because they're not. I mean, they are kind of a quick hitter team. Like they go deep at times, but to start out a game, they're going to dink and dunk and figure it out and drive down the field, and then they're probably going to get inside the red zone, and then they're going to try to take advantage of the situation and then throw a touchdown to Kelsey, because that's where they're most comfortable. Sure.
I'm there with Dave, but I'm on the other side with Tampa Bay. I think it's Tampa Bay who goes down at the end of the game and wins it with a field goal.
Dave Peterson said Casey and Tampa Bay match up each other pretty well the whole game. Field goal will win it for Kansas City. And wouldn't that be a thing? The push would be, that'd be the thing. I think I lost.
I mean, I'll say this: I like Kansas City, but if Tampa Bay wins, they Fournette needs to have a big game.
I knew a girl from Kansas City.
She had whiskey in her titty.
The run the ball guy talking about a running back.
Yeah, and it's not even a starting running back.
I knew a girl from Bunker Hill.
Yeah,
she won't do it, but her mama will.
Yeah, well, I got a couple of Huskers, Levante David and Ndamukong Suh, that are on the Bucs. So
there you go.
I'm surprised I didn't pick them, but I
know we said we weren't going to talk about it, but we got into Aaron Rodgers. So to end the show, like from an outside perspective, I'm sorry, Sean, I got to ask. From an outside perspective, what do you think about the Eagles, the quarterback situation? Like from an outside perspective, where
if you want to say good luck, like we understand.
Yeah, well, that was almost going to be my response.
Like, is Wentz still here? Like from your perspective, is Wentz still here? Is Hurts the starter? Do they trade them both? Like,
I think Sean, we talked about this a little bit on the podcast when you were on. I'm a huge believer in, or maybe it was after you came on, because that was what I needed, that mulligan in our podcast, because there was a comment or something that I was thinking about when you were on the show, and I was like, oh fuck, I can't remember what it was. So thank you, Ryan, for bringing that up, because it's coming full circle. So my thought was Carson Wentz. You look at the full body of work of what he's done, I would say roll with him. I mean, if you look at any of the great quarterbacks, I'm not saying that Carson Wentz is great, but you guys might think that or not. I don't know. But I'm just saying that any quarterback that's worth a salt in the NFL, they always have bad seasons. They always have bad games. They always have slumps where they're not at their best. Every single one does. You can go all the way back to where Tom Brady and all the great things that he's done. He's had slumps or times where he hasn't played very good. And I think if you look at the full body of work of Carson Wentz, I have a hard time thinking that I wouldn't go with him first, just based on what I have seen on the football field. Because Jalen Hurts, yeah, he came in and he did relatively well, but I think once people saw him play, they were like, okay, we can shut this down or that down. And there's a lot of different things that you can talk about there. But I just think with everything that Carson's done, injuries aside, if he can stay healthy, I think that's the guy that you go with.
Cool. I think we're kind of all in agreement.
Agree. I don't want to get into this. We're going almost 3 hours. We got to close it out soon. But
my bad, yo.
No. All this stuff that's coming out, and everyone that he. All right, here I'll say this: if he wants out, then fuck him. There's the door. I personally don't believe he wants out. I think this is reporters. I think this is Philly media. And I think it's the fans who've been against him all, kind of going together and just trying to force him out the door when they don't see the other side. You always think the grass is always green on the other side, right?
Luda.
And I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying that, that Wentz is the savior. I don't know. There was points. I mean, there was a time where I was like, oh, shit, man, here we go. He's our franchise guy. Obviously, not last year, the year before, he took a bunch of scrubs to the playoffs on his back. And I keep going back to that. And I keep thinking about that Carson Wentz and how gritty and that was.
So what you're saying, Sean, is, and I'll agree with it, be careful what you wish for.
I don't know what people are thinking with, let's move on from Carson Wentz. Okay, first of all, what the fuck are you going to get in return? Because look who's running your front office. Yeah. If you really trust that asshole to make the right picks in Howie Roseman, you know what? Then fucking trade him away and let's see what other fucking gems you turn up in that draft.
Right.
And,
the guy that's here now, and I'm not saying anything bad against Hurts, but he's not a guy that's going to. He's just not. He's okay. He's not going to be great. He's never going to be.
That's the narrative that I'm tired of seeing. Like okay, trade Wentz. We got Jalen Hurts.
No, he's not the answer.
I'm not saying that he is or he isn't. He might turn into a superstar. He might.
Right, I'm with you.
Like he might. But what have you seen in 4 games that tells you that Hurts is the guy?
And I said it on TK's show. I said that same thing.
Carson.
So that being said, the problem I see here is if you move on from Wentz, now you got to draft a quarterback. You have to.
Right, and you
have to.
Carson Wentz has more of a resume. Carson Wentz would have won the MVP in 2017 if he didn't blow his knee out. He would have won the MVP. Even his rookie year. Like the Eagles weren't supposed to finish 7-9 at his rookie year,
right?
Yeah.
So that the rookie year that he would have won the MVP in 2017. What he did in 2019, like everybody was hurt. Absolutely everybody was hurt. And he put that team on his back. And then people are holding it against him because he took a 30 hit and had a fucking concussion.
Right.
My SSCS was almost this fan base. I hate our fan base.
Yeah.
I really do.
It's tough and it's hard to swallow listening to these cocksuckers, Sean. It's very hard.
What's up?
Nebraska Cornhusker fans are the exact same way. It drives me fucking bananas. But go ahead. Yeah, I can relate to you guys. relate to you guys 100% with the Husker fan base because it's never fucking good enough.
Yeah.
Like when
So,
the,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah. So the 70s when we won 2 national championships, when Devaney was there, it wasn't good enough. Osborne was there for 20 years. It wasn't good enough. We won two national championships. We lost in between, wasn't good enough. Won a 3rd national championship. And then he retired and then Solich came in. It wasn't good. It's just never like we have 5 fucking national championships and it's still never good enough.
Yeah.
You know what
it's just frustrating.
It's the expectations that are set. You know what I
Right.
mean? Those expectations are set. And when they're not met, the fans just lose their fucking minds.
Right.
It's
And that's
nuts.
what happens here, what happens in Philadelphia, like you hire a coach. So, going through the history. Okay. So they hire Buddy Ryan. So Buddy Ryan, if the Philadelphia legend.
Yeah, he's a character, man.
But
Love that guy.
he's an overrated coach.
He's overrated. He never won a playoff.
Overrated coach.
So great defensive guy, but
Yeah, well, I just loved all his I loved all the crazy shit that he was saying. I'm not about being a coach.
As a coach on the field and what his team accomplished, he's overrated. And then you hired Rich Kotite, not even going to get into that. Then you hired Ray Rhodes. Ray Rhodes did not. The only thing Ray Rhodes did, though, is he drafted Brian Dawkins, he drafted Jeremiah Trotter, he drafted Bobby Taylor, and he drafted Troy Vincent. So that's
he traded for Troy Vincent. Yeah.
Okay.
Troy Vincent came from Miami.
Okay. I'm sorry. So Jeremiah Trotter, Brian Dawkins, and Bobby Taylor. So he drafted them. That's all he did. That's it. So then Andy Reid comes in. Andy Reid, hands down, the best coach we ever had. Right? 14 years.
Yes.
Peterson's probably the second best.
Right. So then you hire Doug Peterson. Now, I'm not going to get into whether.
Don't forget Mr. Chip Kelly.
No.
Just blow right past that motherfucker.
Over those 3 years.
He shouldn't have been hired. So I'm ignoring that. So I'm not going to get into whether Doug Peterson should have been fired or shouldn't have been fired or how we feel about that. But Doug Peterson, he was a good coach. Right? He was a good coach. The problem is with Philadelphia Eagles, if it doesn't fucking go great for 4 or 5 years constantly, they fired a coach over and over and over and over. Look at the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have 3 fucking head coaches in their history.
But Pittsburgh's the exception to the rule.
In the last 50 fucking years, yeah, they've had Chuck Noll and Cowher and Tomlin, since the 70s.
Yeah, and I get it, but like Pittsburgh's the exception. Most teams churn over coaches like
Most
the way
teams do. Most teams do.
That's the problem, Mike. That's the problem I'm getting to. That's the problem. You have to have stability.
Yeah. But so I want to, I want to get back to what we were talking about earlier. It seems like to me, again, we're back to the Foles and Wentz thing where everybody's picking a side. Gary, you're like, Hurts isn't the answer. Fuck him.
He's not. No, I'm not saying fuck
no,
him.
you didn't say fuck him, but you're saying he's not the answer.
He's not.
And you're saying, all right, you're saying that. Ryan, you're saying that, we've seen 4 games of him. We've seen a little bit. We think the book's out on him. Me, I'm kind of more along the lines of, and as I always am, is let's wait and see. Now, I'm saying that Wentz should be the starter, but I'm not saying that Hurts is trash. I'm not saying Hurts is great.
No.
But I'm saying Hurts could be trash. Hurts could be great, Gary. He could be great. He won a Heisman Trophy. He took 2 teams, carried 2 teams, 2 college teams to a great thing. You've watched 4 games. There's no way that you can look at him after 4 games where he's had moderate success and say,
that's fair.
He's a piece of shit. Throw him away. Fuck him. Let's draft
It's
him.
fair. It's fair.
Right. Okay.
I just, me personally, I have a hard time moving on from a guy that you moved up and you moved up several times to draft him second, He had an MVP caliber season. He led you to a Super Bowl season. He led you on his back in 2019. Statistically, if you look at his numbers, where he is ranked on top quarterbacks of all time in touchdowns and interception, even despite include this year,
right?
Touchdowns, interceptions ratio, all that stuff. He's ranked up there.
Yeah,
I mean,
like this year's an anomaly for him. He does not throw picks like that.
Yeah,
I mean thanks for opening this can of worms, TK.
So that's
the
what
Eagles.
I'm saying.
Not bad, yo.
If there's a way you could get this to work, and Carson Wentz comes back to his,
I have to pay.
No, but I'm agreeing with you guys. I think that they should go with Wentz, but it's more along the lines of you can't just throw Hurts away. And the Eagles created this controversy by deciding to draft Wentz.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And I think my main thing is that. So TK, we have a sports talk loudmouth in this town. He's actually originally from New York, and he's actually one of the innovators of sports talk radio. And we're forever sorry for that because he's a fucking arrogant loudmouth. All he does is say shit to stir up trouble. Angelo Cataldi.
He's from New York.
He's from New York.
Nobody should be listening to him, right?
No, but he's been in Philadelphia radio for about 30 years now.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
And he talks. I come Carson, and he screams in the microphone, and he says the most obnoxious shit, and everyone else eats it up. It's horrendous. It's horrendous radio. It's absolutely terrible.
For he gets the ratings, Sean.
He took 30 people in a bus to the draft in '99 to boo Donovan McNabb when he was drafted.
No way.
And that was forever a wart on Philadelphia for booing Donovan McNabb. I didn't boo. I didn't boo when they took a quarterback. I went, thank God we got a quarterback.
Right.
It was those 30 stupid assholes who also, I guarantee you, bought season tickets for the next 10 years to watch Donovan McNabb play at Veterans Stadium. And who rooted for him to take them to the NFC Championship games all those years. It's the same 30 stupid assholes who did that. So I hate the Philadelphia media. I hate this fan base. I really do. And I know we're a podcast based, a Philadelphia podcast. I'm probably alienating not 80%. I don't give a fuck. I hate you.
Right.
You guys are a bunch of scumbags. Fucking, like stop feeding off this bullshit. Stop forcing every star we have in this town out. You know, every star we have. Allen Iverson, as greatly loved as Allen Iverson is in this town, there are people who fucking hated Allen Iverson who wanted him out day one. Day one, they wanted him out.
And I'm not even a basketball fan, and how could you hate him?
Eric Lindros never won a cup. No, he did not ever win a cup. He had injury issues. That's not his fucking fault. He had concussions. But Eric Lindros is one of the greatest Philadelphia Flyers ever played. They fucking hated him in this town. Mike Schmidt, the greatest third baseman to ever play in Phil, the greatest third baseman ever to play baseball.
The greatest third baseman ever.
They fucking hated Mike Schmidt because he didn't connect with the fans here. This fan base is a fucking disgrace when it comes to stuff like this. I'm alienating our fan base. And if anyone's listening to the show at 3 hours and 2 minutes into the show, sorry, not fucking sorry. Sorry, not fucking sorry.
I agree with you. Sean, I 100% agree with you. This fan base is so like it's entitled. Like this fan base is entitled. Like they don't appreciate what they have. And so like again, I know it's social media, but I got to know a thing earlier. The Wentz and Hurts thing. This guy's saying, yeah, Wentz and Hurts, that the 2021 quarterback is not on the roster. What they're going to do is draft Justin Fields and then re-sign Nick Foles as what's the word? The stopgap quarterback. So I was like, okay, so they're going to bring Foles back for the third time, which is so retarded. And then what makes you think Justin Fields is going to be the guy? What Ohio State quarterback has ever been anything?
Hey, you leave Bob pulling out? Was Bobby pulling out of Ohio State? Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
Ohio State.
You leave Bobby Hoying out of this. I bought his jersey when he won 3 games in a row in 1998.
And
where's he at?
And he lit up, like he mentioned these numbers that Justin Fields is a very, very, very good college quarterback, but so is Dwayne Haskins, so is Bobby Hoying, so is don't give me a fucking Ohio State quarterback at number 6 as the answer for the Philadelphia Eagles. Get the fuck out of here with that. Like at number 6, if the Eagles don't take fucking Devontae fucking Smith or Jamar Chase, it's a bad pick.
No, not well. There's even a tight end.
No,
that would be a bad pick. Kyle Pitts would be a bad pick.
Why would he be a bad pick when you're trading Ertz?
Kyle Pitts wouldn't be a bad pick
at number 6.
Yeah,
if
you're trading Ertz away. Why would he be a bad?
Like
you still have the other positions.
Because like we're talking. Yeah.
Huh?
They're good. I like this. I can this shit. I can put on my podcast.
All right. It's like you're right. So you have Goddard. I understand it. I don't know if Goddard's proven himself to be a number 1 tight end. Kyle Pitts might be a generational tight end, dude.
Okay, but Dallas Goddard's not more proven than him. Come on, don't give me Kyle Pitts at number 6.
Dude,
why would that be a wrong pick?
When's the last time that a tight end has been valued that high in the draft?
OJ Howard?
Yeah, like I can't tell you that, but
that's a good point, Mike.
Who's OJ Howard?
Keith Jackson.
Keith Jackson wasn't a number 6 rated a number 6 pick, Gar.
No, that's a good point though. Mike made a good point though. OJ Howard turned out to be nothing. So, and Eric Ebron was another one, right? So that's those are good points.
Evan Ingram.
LJ Smith. He was never
he was second round pick.
Evan Ingram.
Yeah, but you know what? There's you can make the same argument for, Mike Williams and AJ Brown and
that's
now you're looking at like Ruggs or whoever for like there's enough wide receivers, so there's no sure things in it. And I get that, but I just feel like if you're going like I think that wide receiver is more of a need than tight end right now.
It is, but Mark Drumheller of the Fox Sports The Gambler responded to one of our things. I forget what I wrote. I don't. If Devontae Smith and Chase are gone, who are you taking? Do you trade down? And he said
the offensive lineman out of Oregon.
Well, he said you take someone else because more often than not, these high receivers grade to these spots and they don't pan out. More times than not, they don't pan out. I gotta be honest, Devontae Smith scares the shit out of me.
I don't like his build. I don't like his body. But like I hear you. I don't like the way he's built. Like if they're both there,
and you think I'm sexy.
Yeah.
You know what?
If they're both there, I'm on Jamar Chase. I love Devontae Smith's body like scares the shit out of me.
What about Waddle? What about Waddle from Alabama?
Same thing. Like I think it's a bit of a reach there.
Not at 6.
I draft down to 11 or 12 and take Waddle there if you want to.
Yeah.
Well, I would do that, but
what about Patrick Surtain at fucking number 6?
I would take Surtain or Parsons at 6.
Go ahead, TK.
That's a linebacker out of Penn State.
Yeah, Parsons is a linebacker out of Penn State. Yeah.
If you have a chance, I guess it depends on what the coaching staff, because you brought in a new coach. Depends on what he wants to do and the direction that I guess the offense is going to go. But I mean, Devontae Smith with his speed and the way that he can manipulate certain situations, it's not quite Tyreek Hill-esque, but if they put him in a slot situation, maybe not necessarily outside with that smaller frame, you get him a little bit inside and get him in those one-on-one situations where he's not going to take the hits because has that little frame. If you can figure out a way to get him incorporated into that offense, which you guys were talking about earlier in the show, come full circle. I like to say full circle. I say it on my show all the time.
I said it to you like 3 times on your show.
Yeah. So full circle coming around. You guys said you want different things in your offense that are creative and innovative and different. You know, listening to your coach do a couple press conferences, I'm not quite sure he's going in this direction, but I think that
we don't know what he was saying.
We exactly. So, but if they can figure out a way to be creative and get Davante Adams into situations where he's one-on-one, then it'd be fucking stupid, honestly, to not pick him, because he made a lot of guys on the Ohio State defensive side look silly.
Yo,
I mean,
in the championship game, he had 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 10 catches in the first half.
I mean,
he's the first wide receiver to win the Heisman Trophy in like 20 some years. I mean,
yeah. So I mean, if you have an opportunity to pick this guy, like if granted, I'm a podcaster that doesn't make any money. I went to school at an NAIA school to coach football, basketball, and track. Like, I don't have any fucking salt in the game, really. But if I did and I was an NFL coach, like, there's no way that I wouldn't draft this guy and try to figure out a way to make him a part of the offense and get him involved. There's no way that I would pass up on that.
Taking him over to Chase?
Just put the
that
ball.
being said, TK, if you got Smith, Chase, and you got Pitts, I mean, that's 3 good choices. That's 3 phenomenal good.
Gar, I gotta disagree with you. A tight end at number 6 to me is not a good choice.
I disagree.
TK, who do you who you taking if all 3 are there? You taking?
I got to take Smith.
You're taking Smith over Chase, huh?
Yeah, Davante. I mean, I can't think of a different scenario. Being an offensive guy, I mean, I can't expect that he would come in and not make an impact right away.
Yeah, I mean, I like Smith a lot, but I think I'll take Chase over him. You're talking about Jefferson, who broke all of like the rookie records.
Right.
You're talking about the guy that was better than him.
That's a good point.
But also, Mike,
either way, you can't go wrong though.
But Mike, you, like, on that note, Devontae Smith actually, when Henry Ruggs and who's the other one?
Waddle now, right?
No, the one that was there. The one plays for the
CeeDee Lamb's Oklahoma.
No, the one plays for the Raiders. The other one plays for the Broncos. Judy. When they were both there, Devontae Smith still had more catches than both of them, which means because he wasn't focused, he knows how to get open.
Mm-hmm.
He could be
splitting hairs.
Again,
back to the hair that I don't have. But
they're both on the board.
It's hard to go against Devontae Smith. It's hard.
His
body just scares me.
But his frame, and his build is concerning.
Yeah, that scares me.
So he's not as fast as Deshaun Jackson, and he's smaller than Deshaun Jackson. And we know what Deshaun Jackson ended up being here in Philly. He was a good receiver, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Well, he's
Heisman.
His career, he was always one hit away. His whole career, Deshaun Jackson, he was always one hit away.
I would say this though. I would say this. Compare if you're going to compare the two.
Yep.
Davante Adams. If you look at him,
Smith.
Sorry, yeah, Davante. I'm just too much of a Packers guy. Davante Smith if you look at him technique wise, like if you get him in the slot, I feel like he can do a lot more than Deshaun Jackson did, because he was just straight speedster. Like he didn't have the deceptive quickness and the deceptive speed that Devontae Smith has. Like you look at him and all of a sudden he starts running and you're kind of like, oh, well, he looks like he's jogging. Then all of a sudden, he's like past 5 guys.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Like, I hear you. I think the only thing that worries me about putting someone like him in the slot is that he's taking on linebackers a little more than he should. And with his frame, I don't know.
Yeah. And how do you justify honestly, how do you justify taking the guy you're going to put at the slot at number 6?
Well, his frame, though, I mean, like, there's no linebacker. Like, here's the thing: you're going to have to bring a safety down. There's no way
a linebacker
is going to be able to cover Devontae Smith. You're going to have to bring a safety down, which you have another guy that's a speedster on the outside that's going to have to go one-on-one. So if you put them both on the same side in the slot, then you're going to have to make a fucking choice.
He'll open it up for the other receivers.
Yeah, and if you have Carson Wentz that stays, and he can make those reads and make those decisions and make the plays that he's been able to make throughout his career, even though what? No, it's not a big if. He's done it. Right?
That's a good point.
I mean, you put those guys on the same side. I don't know. And that's the thing I love about you guys' podcast. I really do. Is you guys, Philly sports upside one down and down the other. Like, it's fun to listen to you guys because who's been drafted from here and there, and I mean, it's really fun to listen to. And I don't know if I'm a huge Packers fan, and I couldn't go back to the 1999 draft and tell you who they drafted, but you guys all fucking know. So it's fun to listen to, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
TK. So we're gonna end the podcast because we're going on fucking 3 hours and 20 minutes, but we're gonna hang on afterwards. All right. If you want to, we can hang on.
We gotta get the show to 3:30, dude.
Nah.
Yes, we do.
No.
We do. We got
no reason we have
hours. No, I'm playing the play out song. TK.
Thanks, fellas. I appreciate you having me on, man. I really do.
Absolutely. So TK, tell the people where they can find you and tell the people they can find your podcast.
Yeah, so it's on Facebook. It's TK Goldsmith. Just search me on there. On Twitter, it's TKC Goldsmith. TK, don't forget the C Goldsmith. And then I'm also on fullpresscoverage.com. So go check it out. Appreciate you.
Nice.
Absolutely, dude. Was that right?
I'm sorry. What was it on Twitter?
TKC Goldsmith. TK, don't forget the C Goldsmith. Because everybody always forgets that shit.
Dave, thanks for tuning in, man.
Yeah, we thank everyone for tuning in. This is like 6 hours of podcast in the last 2 weeks. This is awesome, man. No, dude, we had a lot. I had a feeling it was going to be like this tonight. I had a feeling it was going to be like this because I knew we had a lot to get to tonight because we haven't done a sports show in 2 weeks. And we were at TK on, and I knew we had a lot to cover. So
I'm still awake.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
I'm impressed. That's actually the most impressive thing about the whole thing, the whole show.
I just followed you on Twitter, and I requested you on Facebook.
All right, bud. Yeah, I'll follow back my man if I can spit it out.
All right,
and you might see
Turbo.
Mark Polsky might be following you too. So if he does,
he's definitely going to follow. He's going to answer the phone.
I'll follow back. I follow back everybody.
All right, there you go.
And I got to tell you, because you followed us on Twitter, and I'm like, dude, I can't follow you back. Something's going on. I know what it was. I found out what it was. You're like, I didn't expect to follow back. I'm like, the fuck is that about? Yeah, I didn't expect to follow back. Of course, I'm going to follow you back, dude. I always follow people back.
No,
unless they're porn people. Like I don't follow.
Right? No, I mean most people I follow back. I don't understand why you wouldn't. It's one of those like algorithm bullshit things that they have on Twitter. Like if I have so many followers and I don't follow anybody, then I'm an influencer and I get more money. What the fuck is that about?
All that. Fuck all that
It's good to follow you on Twitter because that kind of because my Twitter page is just porn.
Oh, good, yeah. So
Like,
I'll change it up a bit.
Yeah,
just
like
a little. Just a little.
It'll start to filter in a little bit.
That'll be a little bit, yeah.
They're all shriveled in the Minnesota snow.
Yeah,
just
you'll get.
I open Twitter, I get slutty videos, black porn videos,
and then TK's cock right in your face.
Yeah.
And so before we go off the air, TK.
Yes.
Do you have a dog?
Do I have a dog? Yeah, I do actually have a dog.
What kind of dog you got, man?
Well, I'm not sure if I actually want to tell you.
You don't. Don't.
Come on, man.
No, I'm a huge I have 2 daughters, so I'm a huge black lab or chocolate lab fan, and I've had chocolate labs in the past and black labs in the past. But right now, because we have 2 daughters, I have a Havanese.
Ooh.
And his name is Buddy.
Buddy.
Oh, that's my dog's name.
It's his dog's name too.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It would take Ryan back to
So
home.
it's like a little
he have favorite kind of peanut butter?
See?
You had to go
Now
there.
you know where this is
I figured there was a punchline and it was coming.
It's been going on for about 2 years. Every fucking guest is asking the same question.
Yeah, writers.
We've had one guest say, "I know I'm not coming back on this show." Right? Remember that?
I'll come back.
I asked Bob.
I just won't fall for the. I just won't fall for that one.
Yeah.
I asked Bob Cooney, and he kind of got upset.
Yeah, Bob Cooney he covers the Sixers, and now he's on Phil's Sports Talk Radio. He goes, next time Ryan's on, don't count me in. I'm like, what? All right.
Oh man, I'm good with all jokes, man. I can roll with the punches.
Nice.
You hung out with us for fucking 2 hours, so
yeah.
Mike,
How about that?
Mike, do it.
Six squirrel pisses in. I'm good.
That's all right.
All right. Penis out.
Gary said, "Fuck
Gary
it."
just like he goes to every fucking time.